Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking about BBLs, right? There's a story that started trending. Let me get cozy here. And I'm just going to be talking till some of y'all come into the chat. So there's a story that went viral. There was this woman who got a BBL and she did her story. I mean, there's tons of stories about the BBLs and how they smell and how they are ruining people's lives. So today we're going to talk about this story that started trending. It went viral. And she's not the first person to talk about BBLs, but it's kind of crazy because she started talking about her BBL and how it ruined her relationship. And apparently, the BBL community got upset about it, right? And they tried to get her videos taken down on TikTok. So that's crazy. So basically, she was saying the BBL community tried to silence her, right? Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So she's done like some TikTok videos. So I think it was like 4 or 5 videos. So I think one of them is still missing, but I was able to get like 2, 3, and 4. So we're gonna talk about the BBLs gone wrong, y'all, and how they're saying they're smelling. And I listen, no judgment here. I ain't judging nobody, because trust me, back in the day, if I had wanted a BBL, I would have gotten one. I'm just saying. I don't have nothing against it, so it's not. But it's just crazy to talk about it. And also, BBLs are people are saying they're going out. They're no longer the trend. So let's get into this first. And as y'all come in, could you please do me a favor? Hit that like button, dude. I mean, come on, hit the like, y'all. Somebody, y'all, hit the like. But this first story is a doctor who was telling everybody about the BBLs and how they smell.
Yeah, those BBLs be stinking.
In order for you to have a BBL, you have to stink for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the sad reality of a BBL.
Do BBLs really smell bad? Well, let's break it down on this video today.
Pass that.
BBLs be smelling is going viral on social media. People are claiming that women who undergo BBL surgeries smell bad afterwards. Is that true? Let's hear what some people are saying.
BBL smells is trending. And there are a lot of reasons for that smell.
So I don't know what he was trained in, if he's a physician, if he is in the medical field, but he obviously has some of his own ideas. Now, first of all, before we hear what his thoughts are, what is a BBL? The BBL stands for Brazilian butt lift. And this is an operation where you liposuction fat from one part of the body, like the thighs, the hips, or the abdomen. We purify the fat and then inject it into the buttocks as a way to enlarge them. We make little incisions in the buttocks to inject the fat, and then...
And I just want to say one thing. A lot of people make jokes about the BBLs and they act like it's just black women. Y'all have to remember the Brazilian butt lifts were not invented in the United States. They were invented over in Brazil. So we are not the number ones getting BBLs, not black women.
half the fat or so will stay long term. And this is the most common way that people basically enlarge their rear ends.
If someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch up, and now they got this big BBL, they have to reach back there and really clean. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not used to doing that, they might not know that, hey, you sweat differently. Everything is different when you add that much more meat back there. That thing can't breathe as good.
So I think he's saying that it's harder to clean back there when your butt is so much bigger. And not having had a BBL, I can't say for sure if that's true, but I guess theoretically that could be the case. It's just...
Do you guys think that's true? I don't think that makes sense, because it's just like if you have a big butt or a small butt and you gain weight, you're going to adjust your hygiene to making sure you're clean and you smell right. So that doesn't make sense to me.
To maybe reach back there?
When you get a BBL, your ass is so rock hard. Like, I could barely get toilet paper and like a hand between my butt cheeks, let alone like an enema. And that thing is tiny.
So there is truth here. When you undergo a BBL surgery, depending on how much fat is injected into the butt can feel real hard and firm. And this is something, I used to do BBLs.
Now here, so it's crazy he's saying the butt could feel hard and firm, because I see a lot of women with the BBLs. It looks like they jiggle a lot. To me, they jiggle more than real booties, to be honest.
the day. I don't do them anymore. And even the ones that I did, I would only inject maybe 300 or 400 cc's into each butt cheek. Now, how much is 300 or 400 cc's? Well, it's about 1/3 to 1/2 of a 1 liter canister, or let's say a quarter of a 2 liter. So we're not talking a huge amount of fluid. And that much was enough oftentimes to cause a butt to feel pretty firm and hard. Well, there are doctors who are injecting literally 1 liter or even 2 liters into each butt cheek. And if that's the case, can you imagine how hard those butts will be afterwards?
I think that girls just aren't wiping good enough or cleaning between their butt cheeks after they do the number 2 good enough.
Yeah.
And that's what's stinking. So if you get a BBL, I suggest this to anyone, but I highly suggest using baby wipes to wipe.
So that tends to be the most common
To be honest, just the thought that you walk around stinking, having a bigger butt, to me is not worth smelling. That would be a turn off to people. Like, for whatever reason you're doing it, you're gonna get a bigger ass but stink. I don't think so.
of why BBLs smell is that people just aren't able to wipe back there as well as they ideally should. One other option other than baby wipes, though, is to get a bidet, because that's a great way to clean your bottom without having to kind of really reach back there. But there are other theories that are being presented for the BBL smell of why this is happening. So let's hear from a guy who I think looks like a real expert at BBL.
And in the club, sometimes it do leave a little trail. You know, like we could be in the section and
He said it does leave a little trail, like there's a little bit of smell to the undercarriage,
it
okay?
could be like 2 or 3 BBL baddies,
Oh,
and you wondering like who the hell got cheesy fries? You know, like who got their socks out? You know, something don't smell right. It ain't the champagne. It ain't the.
hey, Michael, welcome to the chat. Please, you already know, hit the like button when you come in. How you doing? Happy
Hennessy.
Monday.
It be the BBLs, and when they bundled up together, it's like a trash pile. You know.
Michael, have you ever dated somebody, or have you smelled a BBL? Drop it in the chat. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I feel bad laughing, but I mean, trash pile? Huh? And is the term BBL baddie really commonly used? This is the first I've heard of the term BBL baddie.
Not all of them, but you gotta understand, it's like physics. If you was a chick that was like, all right,
Hey, Eric E., welcome to the chat. Have you had a BBL baddie?
150, right? 150 pounds, and then you got a BBL.
Oh,
So the BBL made you probably like 170, 180. You're not used to that go around.
Okay, so
okay, you guys. And so I know I'm talking to 2 men. Women, I think, get these BBLs to enhance, to attract men. Why are a lot of men are saying that they don't want the BBL? So what is the problem here? What is the issue?
you have a BBL, fat is taken from one part of the body and injected into the butt. So you are removing fat and then putting it back in, and then some of that fat will once again go away. Your body will absorb it. You are not adding 20 pounds of somebody else's fat to your body. So if you weigh 150 pounds before your BBL, unless you gain weight naturally by eating too much and not moving enough, you're not going to go from 150 to 170 just because you had a BBL. It's not physics that way. That, unfortunately,
Okay, let me pose a better question. Y'all could answer in the chat. Would you date a woman with a BBL? And or if your significant other, wife, girlfriend, whatever, if she was very flat, would you want her to get a BBL just to enhance her figure?
unfortunately, is not true.
You feel me? That hand to back motion, you're not used to that extra 20 pounds back there. So when you cleaning, you may miss a few little specks. You feel me?
Come on.
You know.
Y'all, now I'm listening to this man say that, but I don't believe that, because y'all know, let me turn this thing on. He's saying that you missed some specks. If you gain weight, your butt gets bigger. We know how to wipe and clean ourselves, and if something's not right, you're gonna jump in the shower. So that doesn't make sense to me, what he's saying. Like your butt's bigger, you're missing some spots.
She be doing waxing, and she be saying BBL baddies be coming in with specks, and the thong was supposed to be blue, but it's brown in certain sections because they can't get that go around. You understand me? So, yeah, that BBL do got to smell.
I love how he speaks with.
Oh my God, he's making it sound terrible. I mean, this like it's hard and no judgment, but the way they talk about BBLs, when you see women with BBLs thinking that they're so gorgeous, and some of them are, it's like, ooh, girl, but what are you smelling like, Lord?
Confidence, as if he is an expert at this stuff.
As someone who's Dominican, I'm going to explain the BBL smell.
So it sounds like she is an authority on BBLs and why BBL surgery may cause somebody to smell bad because she's Dominican.
Oof.
The smell doesn't come from the butt or from the vag. The smell comes from the fat excretions that are coming out.
Do tell more. Fat excretions?
So when women have liposuctions and BBLs, about 3 weeks later, all the way up to 3 weeks later, they have excretions, actually grease, that comes out of their body, and it has a putrid smell.
So why would an incision drain putrid smell 3 weeks after an operation? The only real reason why is if it's actually infected. And infection is going to cause a whole lot more issues than a smell. Now, it's very...
Y'all, the way they talking about these BBLs, they making them sound pretty disgusting. I'm just saying.
Common after liposuction or BBL surgery to get a little bit of...
Michael says, stop it. Michael says, ain't no air get up in there. But dang, but some women are naturally big back there. So you saying the air don't get up in the regular cheeks either?
For a day or two, maybe 3 days at the longest, after an operation like this. You know, we get that fluid that we inject that will help to reduce bleeding that can kind of seep out through these incisions, but it's not necessarily fat that is coming out.
Oof.
And if it smells as bad as she's saying, then yes, you've got to worry about an infection. That is not common.
So the BBL smell is not because of women's pH balance. It's not because they don't shower. It's simply because it's fat excretion.
Eric E says infections. Oh, Eric, this is disgusting. Like, I mean, I understand when people have surgeries, things can happen, but who would elect to have something that's going to cause you to smell and get it?
Still coming out weeks after the surgery is finally done.
Now, I know she's Dominican, but I don't think that this is true.
Okay, this young lady said, y'all be saying anything. BBLs don't produce a smell. If somebody stinks, it's personal hygiene. That is completely false and untrue.
So he definitely knows. And we're going back to the first guy in the video who said that BBL stinks. So let's find out why he thinks that these stink, because he seems like he is definitely an authority at this.
As a matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is fat necrosis, which produces an excretion of the fat that was put in, and it smells.
Y'all, I think I'm going to stick with what God gave me. I'm sorry. That's I don't know. No.
Another lady in my comments confirms that she had a BBL and had to wait 4 months before she could do anything because of the excretions.
So fat necrosis is a known complication of BBL and any type of fat grafting surgery. And essentially what it is it's fat that dies. Now, most of the time when fat necrosis, it can either liquefy and the body absorbs it, or it can actually turn into a hard mass that...
Now, I see some fellas up in the chat. Yes, thank you guys for hitting the like when you come in. Would y'all want your girl to get a BBL if she is flat in the back? Y'all got to let me know. I want to hear. Uh-oh. What did I do, y'all? I'm always doing something because now I can't hear what he's saying. Did I turn it down? No. Y'all, I am always screwing up on this. Let me turn this off. Because he's still talking and I can't hear nothing. You know what? And it's crazy, you guys. Let me just say this while I'm trying to fix this. Somebody hacked into my system over the weekend and I barely could get back in. So I feel like when I'm having all these technical difficulties, there's a reason. Let me turn this back on. Seriously, you guys. So somebody was in my account and I had to jump through hoops to even get back in here. So I don't know what's going on. Every time I get on, it's some weirdness going on, right? Y'all see it. I mean, I just flipped the camera one time, and now all of a sudden we can't hear this man talking about some BBLs. Now, it could be the BBL queen. Here we go.
It cracks me up, and I really got to give them a round of applause.
So I'm going to
So what do I believe
roll
the
it back
BBL
just a
smell
little
comes
bit.
From? Well, I believe that most likely it's due to personal hygiene.
Okay, let's see what he said. And I was asking you guys, would you want your girl to get a BBL?
That is completely false and untrue.
So he definitely knows. And we're going back to the first guy in the video who said that BBL stinks. So let's find out why he thinks that these stink, because he seems like he is definitely an authority at this.
As a matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is fat necrosis, which produces an excretion of the fat that was put in, and it smells. Another lady in my comments confirms that she had a BBL and had to wait 4 months before she could do anything
BBL
because of the excretions.
So fat necrosis is a known complication of BBL and any type of fat grafting surgery. And essentially what it is it's fat that dies. Now, most of the time when fat necroses, it can either liquefy and the body absorbs it, or it can actually turn into a hard mass that oftentimes doesn't get reabsorbed at all. But I have never heard of fat necrosis draining through incisions and smelling really, really bad. And if fat necroses, it doesn't necessarily leak out through incisions unless, let's say, there was some type of an infection causing that incision to open up. So I've really enjoyed all these TikTokers' theories about the BBL smell, especially how they present them with such confidence. It cracks me up, and I really got to give them a round of applause because that was a lot of fun. So what do I believe the BBL smell comes from? Well, I believe that most likely it's due to personal hygiene. And if it's not due to personal hygiene, then the other potential cause of a bad smell after BBL is an
Personally, whatever the cause is, I wouldn't want to get it because I feel like you could still be attractive and have your natural body versus stinking.
infection, which hopefully is not true because that can be life-threatening, or maybe they didn't wash their compression garment very often.
No.
Most patients who undergo this operation have to wear a compression garment for several weeks, sometimes longer after the operation. And they wear them oftentimes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're not washing that garment regularly, it can stink. So I don't think that everybody who has a BBL smell.
Hey, Chris, you said squats can work too. But, oh, you're saying to get your bottom big, to get the, okay, I see what you're saying. But, girl, the smell, I don't think it's worth it.
Smells bad. And one good example of somebody who I think had a BBL, and I don't think she smells bad, is Kim Kardashian. And take a peek at this video right up here where I go over what I think is going on with Kim Kardashian's rear end. And remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and auto-rejuvenate before you operate.
So basically, I mean, I think Chris is saying, right, the smell is not, no, I'd rather have a, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I was asking the guys to drop it in the chat if, for their significant other, if they would prefer that she, you know, have like surgery if she's kind of flat, right? I just don't see why somebody would go through that process and end up stinking. That just doesn't seem very attractive, especially if you're trying to attract a man. And I think a lot of men don't mind a woman that's a little voluptuous. I mean, you know, I used to be thinner when I was younger, but I got a few curves on me now, and I don't have a problem, you know. So, but anyway, you guys, so this is what I wanted to talk about. So there's a woman who went viral on TikTok. Her name is, let me click on it. Her name is Unapology. Eric is laughing at Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Y'all, we be up here working, and ain't nobody hitting the damn like button, okay? And y'all, just so you guys know, like I told you, Chris, I don't know if you've had this experience, but girl, over the weekend, somebody tried to hack into my account. So I had to jump through hoops to even get it restored. So be careful. Make sure you have your two-factor authentication set and everything. That was crazy. And I have been down with migraines. So be careful. People are hacking into. Yes, I'm locked out of my Facebook right now for the same thing. Somebody got into my Facebook account. I can't even get into my original Facebook. So these people are really mean-spirited. So be careful. Monitor your account. If you get a notification telling you to change your passwords from Microsoft, it comes in your email, do what they say, because I didn't listen. I wasn't feeling well, and I just let it rock, and I couldn't get in. Actually, yeah, yesterday. It took me hours. Okay, y'all, but this lady, so the lady on the screen, her name is K Montana 24, and her TikTok is Unapologetic K Montana. Thank you, girl. It's okay. And Eric says, wow, yeah, the thing about YouTube is a lot of YouTubers, I don't know why, but some people go in and they try to hack into your account. So what they do is say the password is lost. So when you go back in or try to do anything, it will log you out of everything and you have to try to get access back to your account, do your phone numbers, your safety words, and all that stuff. It's a nightmare, I'm telling you. But with Facebook, I have not even gotten it back. So I spend weeks trying to do that. You have to send a picture of your driver's license, all of this other stuff, and they still denied me. So it's like, okay, whatever. But this, you guys, yeah, can y'all hit the like button? Can y'all hit the like button? K Montana. This lady went viral on TikTok, and this is what's crazy, you guys. So she got a BBL, and so she did a story time about how it changed her life, how she was stinking. Do y'all know? I gotta turn this on so y'all can feel my emotion. Do y'all know? This is crazy to me. I know I get it all. Do y'all know the TikTok community, the BBL community, got this woman's they almost tried to get her TikTok account shut down and got her TikTok, her videos damn near got them removed. Oh, that's sweet. Let me thank you, heart. Thank you. I always do the thumbs up. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yes. Cause that was a mess. When I was coming off of a migraine episode, and I'm like, damn, now I can't even get into my account. So you guys, this lady, let's listen to her account of her BBL. This is crazy.
So hey y'all, I just want to hop on here.
Here we go.
So this one day, me and my boyfriend, we getting ready, to do something. So first, let me see.
What? I told you guys
So this one day, me and my boyfriend, we getting ready, to do something. So first, let me see.
It's doing it on its own.
My boyfriend at the time did not want me to get the procedure done, but I insisted. Me and my sister went to get the procedure done together. And before I got the procedure done, I joined the group on Facebook. It was like a support group. Different women that got it, that's in relationships, just for, to talk about it. So a lot of women in the group was pretty much saying, when you get it, your boyfriend is going to be jealous, so just keep an eye out on that. So when he was telling me it was smelly down there, I was going to the group saying, he's saying it's smelly down there. They was basically telling me to ignore him. He's jealous, but he'll eventually come around. So me and my sister got the procedure done at the same time. So at first, mine was healing up good. It was healing normal. So was my sister's. And I would ask her, is you healing well? She would tell me, yeah. I was healing well maybe the first 6 to 7 weeks, but after that it kept on leaking and kept on draining. I was asking my sister how hers was doing. She said she was not leaking or draining. Mine would close up, but then like a day or two later it would start leaking again.
Right.
So
ew.
I used to put gauze and dressings on it to support the leakage while I may have been outside or out and about. So that's why I had it for a year with the leakage, because there would be points that it would close up, or I would think it was closed up fully, but it wasn't. So one day me and my boyfriend was about to do something, and he just was like, I cannot take the smell anymore, and he broke up with me and he left. And that was pretty much that. But he was telling me for months, but me listening to the women in a group thinking they knew what they was talking about, it kind of messed everything up for me. It even got to the point I was wearing jeans in the summertime because it was an embarrassment even looking at it. I'm going to upload the picture right here. So this one day.
So you said let you stop eating, girl. You know you can't eat while you talking about a BBL, especially when it said they stinking. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. She made the video about the BBL, and so like you heard her talking about the fact that people was telling her the boyfriend was jealous because he was saying it was smelling. Well, apparently the BBL community, and I don't know who they are, but women who have gotten BBLs, they don't want this information out there, you guys. So they got so pissed at this woman. This video went viral. No shade, but didn't they make those claims about Kim? Yes, I believe that. Wait, are you talking about, did they say that she smelled? I don't know. Did they say K. Michelle smelled? I don't know. I don't remember that one. But I know they talked about her kadunk. Her stuff was just, it just had gotten ridiculous. Almost like how Cardi B's is. And, I'm not even gonna say the FISHY, girl. I'm not even gonna utter that. Oh, look at me. I'm not gonna say it. Y'all can read what she said, cause I feel like it's just. But I don't think the BBLs are smelling that word. I think it just smells. I think it just smells funky. I don't know what it smells like. I don't have any friends that have BBLs. I'm gonna just say that right here. So I don't know anybody personally. I don't know. I mean, maybe they have it, and I just don't know. I don't know. But this woman, when she did it, so many people were outraged. I guess the BBL community and all the women who have BBLs, that they tried everything to get her videos down. And I think that's really sad. It's like, where's the freedom of speech? Like, if your BBL is good for you, that's cool. But her, like, what's wrong with telling the truth as to what happened to her? So here's the next video. Here's part 3. I hope y'all can hear it. I'm scared to even touch the computer. It'd be acting so crazy.
BBL surgically removed because my sit down one was stinking real bad.
It's really low.
So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now. So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It fucking stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay? Now, my BBL been removed for the last
disgusting.
Years. Only had it in for about a year until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more.
Wait a minute, why she make you laugh?
Get on here and say BBL smell good, but they fucking stink.
Oh.
Stay away from them.
Oh, her face. Okay, but it's just crazy to me that these women got together and that she was getting so many I don't know what they do over in TikTok, if they strike your channel or whatever they do, but apparently her first, because I kept looking for part number 1 and I couldn't find it, and they have done so much they got that removed. Now some people are saying that she's lying, they don't stink, that there's just this BBL train. Now listen, Chris, look, me and you are both content creators. You guys don't forget to go follow Chris on the Chris Nicole. She has a channel. Listen, I'm gonna turn this so you can see my face. Are we trying to grow our channels? Maybe we should do a fake BBL story. I got a BBL in it. My man left me because I don't think. I can't, even if it was true, I'm not getting on there talking. It's some stuff that I'm just not going to do because I have pride. Like, I'm not going to get up there and be saying my badunka-dunk stink. Like, I'm sorry. Some people will do anything for a view, and that's what they're saying about this woman. They're saying, some people will do anything for a like and a click. Like, some stuff is just personal, and unless it's in an environment where you're trying to educate people to help them, I'm not getting up there saying my ASS stink. I'm just not doing it. Chris says, laughing, yes, BBLs. And really, girl, you lying. Girl, I'm about to look. Girl, I'm about to turn my ass up in this camera and talk about how my BBL done got me by myself. But nah, I ain't gonna do that. Look, I feel like saying, it get you an algorithm? Because my channel is all the way out the algorithm. I might get up here in the damn phone and say, well, this BBL I got, look at it. Because it's my natural behind growth. And hell, I might just, You said, oh, you. No, but that's what they're saying though. If you want to get in the algorithm, you need to do a BBL story. Yeah, do a BBL story. Shit, I might get there and start my BBL, girl. I might have to do it. You said either BBL or who the. Now I don't have a Mary story, but I do got a who the f did I who was I dating? I got one of them. I got one of those stories. Okay, you guys, let me try to play this one. So this is her video number. I think this is the 4th video where she's talking about some of the people and what happened. So let's listen to this. If it'll play. So she's just showing how her video, how people had put so many strikes against her video that, you know, that her video was taken down, and she was really upset about that because they make money on TikTok, and her video about the BBL, y'all, that video got like one of them got 4 million views. That's a lot. That's almost up there. Well, no, the woman who did the who the F did I marry, I think she got like, oh, she got, was it 400 million views? But anyway, this lady got a lot. 4 million. So this woman got a lot of views, and you know, they were trying to get it so that she wouldn't get her money. And I think that's kind of upped up, you know, just because she's telling the truth about the BBLs. So anyway, if you go to TikTok, I mean, there's just a whole litany. The women who were trying to get her video taken down, I don't understand why. Because they're, you said we need a plan. You mean for to get into the algorithm? To get into the algorithm, girl, it's kind of rough right now. It's rough right now. Yeah, I mean, the BBL one is a good one. I mean, I personally, yeah, a botch story is good, but who wants to get up there showing a botch? I mean, you know, I think most women have a little nips and little dings on their body and stuff like that, but I'm probably going to not get in the algorithm if I got to be showing all of that. I'm just like, I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's crazy. But and so the thing about the BBL is that there are a lot of women who got them. Yeah, my life is discreet. And I mean, yeah, I feel the same way. Like some things are just private. Like I feel like this younger generation, they put everything online. And I just remember growing up back in our day, you know, your parents was like, keep our business in the house. Like you just don't tell everything. Like they tell everything. I smell, I this, I that. I was just over on King Cole's channel, and they are crazy. Like I love it over there. And they were talking about pegging. Like what man gets online and talk about he done got pegged by his girlfriend or his boyfriend? Like what? I mean, is anything sacred these days? Y'all tell everything. But this is another creator. I had seen this a while ago, and I didn't pay much attention to it because I'm like, because there's a Chanel, I think her name is Chanel, another YouTuber. She's a very pretty girl. All these YouTubers, they're all getting BBLs, and only a few of them are coming forward and telling their stories. So this is another one I saw that was kind of crazy, and I think she's pretty, and I watch her sometimes. So
you guys want to see me, okay?
She's going to talk about her experience.
In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of my
Here we go with the DM.
BBL horror stories that I never shared yet with you guys before. You know, I feel like a lot of us, we only post on social media, like the good, you know? It's very rare you find someone that posts literally like all the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know? So, like I said on my channel before, I want to post the real...
I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but I might take notes because I might come up with a BBL story, okay?
real deal stuff, the things that people don't talk about, and what better time to talk about it than now? For those of you who don't know, I have my body done. I'm a fake girl, okay? The only thing that's real on me is my hair, and I'm super, super proud of that. I am surgery pro. I'm all about making yourself feel good and, you know, changing things that you don't like about yourself if you can't afford to change them, and if you're in the right mental health to change them. I'm all here for it. Surgery is a really crazy thing. It's very, very hard on your mental. It's very hard.
I didn't want to say nothing because if you say something, they're gonna say you a hater. So I was just like, okay. But we crazy. But okay. Oh, look, and what do they say? I got Indian in my family. Okay, that's what they say.
Hard on your body. Recovery is crazy, honestly. Like when I did my body, both times, the second time was way worse than the first time because I lipoed way more than I lipoed the first time. Plus I did my breasts the second time. I especially feel when you're going through the motions and you're post-op, you're still healing. So like you're still trying to get your body back in good standing. It's hard, especially on YouTube where you have so many people just judging you and talking about you. And
now that is the truth. YouTube is very critical. And I know, Chris, because you do your faceless, which I mean, I used to do that as well. But I'm telling you, once you come on, people are so critical. You will find stuff in the comments. You will have the trolls come in. They will critique everything. So I get what she's saying, but still, you have to be comfortable within yourself. You can't go around changing every damn thing.
And you know, you have such big influence. It's hard to talk about certain things that happen and certain things that go wrong during surgery because you don't want people to say like, I told you so, or like, you shouldn't have done this or that, whatever. We don't want to hear that. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of those things that I never mentioned before that happened to me that I'm now willing to talk about now because I'm way past that stage. The first surgery horror story that I'm going to talk about is...
What could they be trolling about? I mean, they can't talk about what you look like unless they talking about your voice. Say you sound like Kermit the Frog or something. These people could find anything to talk about, for real. I'm serious.
When I first did my body in Miami, my first round I did in 2019 with Dr. Jonathan Fisher in Miami I think at the time they were called Vanity Cosmetics. They changed their name so many times.
As your channel grows, though, you will get more trolls, you know. I mean, especially the more you come on and, you know, the more consistent you are and people start noticing, if they see your numbers growing, yeah, you will get trolls. I'm bored. Girl, yeah, I've heard all of that too. That's exactly. You're boring. It's like, what the hell you want me to do? I mean, what? Yeah.
I remember it went from Vanity to like Jolie Cosmetics, and like now I don't know what they changed their name to. But I remember when I researched Vanity Cosmetics, they had like really bad reviews. But the Dr. Fisher that I wanted to go to, I remember his butts were like really, really huge. And at the time, I had like no butt at all. My was as flat as the wall. I had one.
Okay, so, and I get, like, if you have body dysmorphia or something, but they have those butt pads that you can put in so you don't have to do the surgery. Chris says, but you take time to post that I am boring. Yes. Wait, I had somebody post something. Oh, it was one, I don't know, it was a month or so ago. And one, I did a late night, and it wasn't that many people. And still, if you're not consistent, the one thing about YouTube, because I used to do it really, you know, before, if you're not doing it almost same time consistently and everything, your numbers are going to be spotty. It is what it is. And if you upload multiple times a day, that affects it. So I did one video, and one day it was up and then the next day it was down. And this person came in and said, you need to quit because your numbers, or something she said, the numbers you had last night were pitiful. It's like, but you're back on a different video. Like, you came back to tell me that? Like, what? Like, these people, that's insanity. Girl, go get your meds.
Long back. So what I was looking for, and what I told my doctor, is that I just wanted like a really big round butt because I had nothing. And I remember there was different doctors at the clinic at the time, and Dr. Fisher was the best one there. Like, he was the most expensive at the clinic, and his butts were like perfect.
And you know, another thing I noticed, and again, no shade, but these women that come on here with all these BBLs and the breast implants, I feel like they're doing it for men. A lot of them are not married, so are they doing it so that they can go to Dubai and get money? Because if they're doing it to get a husband or something, it doesn't look like it's working. Chris has just heard that too. Your numbers are low. My numbers are where they are meant to be. I'm not selling. Yeah, that I know. We can't even get into that discussion because it will be stepping on somebody's toes, right? Because there's gonna be somebody listening feeling like you talking about them. So it's like, yep, I know what you mean. Yep.
Nice and round, and like I looked on this website called Real Self at the time. This was like before the doctors made Instagram pages. I used to go on Real Self and look at like people used to document their journey there. And I was looking at reviews, and I was looking at before and afters, and I remember Dr. Fisher was like ideal. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to him. That's who I plan on giving my money to. So I go into the surgery. I remember Dr. Fisher telling me, and he was like, based on your body, we can't guarantee
No,
that you
no,
can
no, no,
talk
no, no.
about.
I'm no. It's no. You're good. I'm just saying. I agree with you. I would like to expand on it or expound on it, but eh, you know this YouTube community. One wrong move, baby, and you're canceled. Okay, okay.
Oh God, I'm like, that's kind of whack, but I guess they have to say that just in case you come out of the surgery still with no.
Yeah,
They said,
yeah.
well, everybody's body's different. Luckily, that wasn't the case with me. I came
And if you even state the obvious or state some facts, oh, you're a hater. Okay, okay.
out of surgery with a really big butt. Right before I went into surgery, I was talking to the anesthesiologist, and he was really, really nice. But I remember right before I got put to sleep, they put the anesthesia in my hand. Before they put the mask on me, I felt the drugs going into my hand, and I've had surgery before.
Okay, so they want the attention from multiple men. Okay, I get it if your self-esteem is kind of low, but what about that lady at McDonald's that got the BBL, but she's still working at McDonald's, and then she's mad because the men come in and order fries to look at her butt? I mean, ladies, what are we doing here? What are we
Before
doing?
this, so I know how it feels to get put to sleep. They put like the anesthesia went through my hand, and all of a sudden my whole hand felt like ice cold. It was freezing, and like it was super, super numb, and then all of a sudden it just started to like burn intensely. And I was telling the anesthesiologist, I was like, is this supposed to hurt because my hand feels like it's gonna fall off? And as I'm talking, the pain is progressively getting worse and worse and worse. At this point, I'm literally like almost screaming, like my hand feels like it's gonna fall off, like please help. I just remember.
And this young lady, she's a very pretty girl. Like, even probably with the bottom. I mean, I don't know, but she's pretty. Like, how?
Remember, like the doctors just telling me to shut up, and they put the mask on my face, and then boom, I was knocked out. I woke up after surgery, super delusional, super out of it. The whole time I just wanted my mom. I was crying. They didn't even leave me in recovery for that long. I remember I was only in recovery for an hour after surgery. Right after that, they just kicked me out of the clinic. I remember vaguely because I was like delusional, you know, I just came out of surgery. I was out of it. I just remember them putting me on my knees on this like rolling thing, you know, and then like they rolled me to the car.
And you guys know, in the last couple of weeks, there have been a couple more women dying of these BBLs in other countries. So it is so unsafe.
And I just remember saying like, whoa, like I felt like I was gonna die, but I'm just trying to stay calm. You just did major surgery on your body. Of course, you don't feel like 100% like this is normal. Just calming myself down in my head as this was happening. I just remember my best friend Shania. Shout out to Shania because she.
Yes, Eric. Eric said she knew what she was doing. Yep, because she did it multiple times, girl. So don't act like you didn't know what was going on, okay?
Took such good care of me in Miami. I was bleeding like everywhere, like all over my sheets. Like we committed a murder because of how much blood was there. A few hours comes by and I'm laying down on my stomach on the bed in the hotel. And this is where the horror story starts, okay? When they put you under, they put like a catheter in your not in your uterus, in like your pee hole, you know? During surgery, your bladder empties out into a bag. Telling Shania, I'm like, I have to pee, you know? So she walks into the bathroom. It takes literally 15 minutes to walk to the bathroom. I'm sitting on the toilet, but I'm trying not to sit down. I just got my butt done. So I'm holding the sides of the wall.
Don't sound worth it, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. Damn.
I'm just trying to like ease myself on the toilet. And I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting for the pee to come out. And the pee never comes out. My bladder was full of urine and I could not.
Got your money in case you start leaking and send you on your way.
Guys.
But Eric, that's okay. I just laughed at what you said, but that's what they're doing. They are botching these women up, getting their money and sending them on like, okay, bye. And they're getting infections. I mean, you can get infections with regular surgeries. Like, it's crazy.
I was so scared. Can you imagine how scary that is? Like not being able to pee. Like I'm just there trying to force.
How the hell scary could it be when you did it multiple times, man? Please give us a break.
Force the pee out. Like what's going on? Like what's not connecting? Like signals that I'm supposed to be giving to my bladder from my brain broken. Like did the doctor touch a nerve where now I'm not connected to my bladder and I can't pee? I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. I'm literally like, whoa, what? Why can't I pee? I'm there like just saying like, oh my God, like I'm gonna die. I looked online and I remember seeing online saying that if you can't pee after surgery, there is something really, really
Oh my
wrong.
God,
Like,
this
there's
is
something wrong.
scary.
You know, hours are passing by and my bladder is just filling up more and more. And imagine how this feels, guys. Imagine having to pee.
She
on a
couldn't pee,
full
that's the
bladder.
problem.
It's like I drank 4 liters of
Oh
water.
my
That's
God.
how much I had to pee. But for some reason, it just wasn't coming out. I seen online there
Can the bladder burst though? I don't know. I don't know. Can it burst?
were saying like, this is not good, like this is bad, and like if you can't pee, you could die. So I'm literally terrified. I'm like, oh my God, like why me? Like why did I have to like be the one affected by this? And I just remember saying to myself, like, Brandy, like don't give up. You're gonna freaking pee. Because I didn't want to have to like go back into the car and then like take a cab back.
Do y'all hear what we listen to? This is the mentality. Okay. Back to what she was talking about. I couldn't pee, blah, blah, blah. Girl.
Clinic so they could like help me pee. And plus I was in the United States and healthcare is not free in the US. So like I can't even go to a hospital. It took me an hour to get to this room from downstairs. Okay, this is right after surgery. It took me an hour. There is no way I'm going back downstairs to go to the hospital to pay an arm and a leg to see a doctor just so I could pee. So a girl like me sat on the toilet.
It sounds like it.
I was hovering in the toilet, you know, with my hands on the wall, and like I sat there and I just pushed, and you know you're not supposed to push, but I'm like, this pee is coming out of my bladder today. And I sat there and I pushed, and I'm just like, please, like trying to send signals to my bladder, like subconsciously through my brain, like you better pee, you better empty, because you're not costing me more money than I already had. Plus I was 19, and like I'm pretty sure I was like broke, like I was in Miami,
Lord have
like
mercy.
I just saved up enough money.
You broke and getting a BBL for what? Is she having a okay? I mean, this. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm listening to this because but this is sounding ridiculous. I'm
to
sorry.
get my body done, and like that's it. Like I didn't have any more money to like spend on leisure stuff, like or emergencies. So eventually, after like it felt like forever, I finally peed. If I didn't pee, guys, like I could have died. That's so scary to think of. Like surgery is no joke. My second horror story is not really a horror story, but it's kind of something.
How the hell many horror stories you need to stop having these unnecessary surgeries, ma'am? Seriously, come on now.
Something that I did because you guys know I'm a DIY queen, and being a DIY queen means that like
right, a second one. And she talking about she the DIY queen. Girl, did you do it yourself? Did you? Don't tell. But you got okay. This is no joke. One woman did her own BBL on herself too. And I think she died. But yeah, one woman did her own.
That anybody, even people who are trained to do that, can do. I feel like I can do it better. Now we're talking about the second time I did my body. So this is the second time. I'm in the Dominican Republic and they put a pain pump in my hand. I think I spoke about this on my channel before, but I'm just going to reiterate. So basically, right after surgery, they ask you, like, do you want to pay for a pain pump? I think it's $300 US.
A what?
It's basically a pump of like morphine and like drugs, like so you don't feel pain. Hence the name, a pain pump. And I remember sitting there and I don't know what it was. Anytime I moved my hand, like it just really, really hurt. Like my whole hand was.
And see, she's so young, she doesn't even understand. Like you guys remember Michael Jackson died of that. It starts with an O. Propofol. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can't just have. That's why you need an anesthesiologist. You should not even just be having people administer drugs to you like that. Sweet Peach, come on now.
Like in pain, you know, and I'm just here thinking like these freaking Dominicans, like they didn't put in the
propofol. Okay, propofol. Yes, thank you. No, you're right. Yeah, propofol.
This hurts.
That's what Michael Jackson OD'd on.
Hours pass by, and I'm the type of person I fixate on things. Like I'm not the type of person to have a headache and then forget about my headache so it can go away. You know, I will sit there and just think about, my head is hurting. Why can't I think? You know, like. I need a Tylenol.
Ma'am, I just got over a migraine episode. When your head is hurting, that's pretty much all you can think about because the sensory nerves in your brain is only going to allow you to think about that headache. Girl, come on.
And until I get the Tylenol, until the headache goes away, the whole time I'll be like, I have a headache.
Yeah.
I know. I have to work on doing better. But hey, I'm learning more about myself every single day. Hours pass by and this pain pump is in my hand, and the whole time I'm talking to like my ex and my cousin, like I don't know what to do with this pain pump. Like at this point, the pain pump is causing me to have more pain than the surgery.
Yeah, the migraines are something else. I mean, I get occasional headaches and I could deal with those. Those are easy. But migraines, I was in the bed from Friday until yesterday. Yeah. Eric says she's talking about she couldn't pee. What about taking it? Eric, stop. I'm not even going to mess with you. That was probably another thing, because I believe the medications could cause you from not being able to do that too. It's just a
So
problem.
what I did, because I think I was doctor, I said, screw this pain pump. I took it and I just started like trying to rip it out my arm, you know? I just tried to rip it out, and it wasn't coming out because it had like the 2 staples.
She said she was the DIY queen, so she gonna remove the pain pump herself. Okay, ma'am, I got
Like
you.
beside it, you know? I guess they put it like that so they could only take it out. I'm there like trying to do surgery on my hand, taking out the staples. Took out 1 staple, took out 2 staples, and then finally, I freaking pulled the long pain pump out.
So we're taking out staples and we're not thinking about cleaning the area in which the staples were lodged into our skin. Girl, come on.
The pain pump was long. It was like this long.
She's tried to kill herself.
I'm here talking about the pain pump. I'm even telling people on Instagram, guys, don't get the pain pump. If they ask you to get the pain pump, don't get it because it doesn't work. Guys, the next day when I woke up, the amount of pain that I was in. Yo, the pain pump works. That's all I gotta say. That pain pump freaking worked. I felt like I got hit by a bus. The BBL surgery is no joke. I would rather have got shot. I would have rather got shot. The next day, I remember just sitting there crying, like, please, somebody go get me something. And I remember in the...
Y'all, let me tell you this. Okay, so I didn't watch this whole BBL story, right? I watched some of it. But the deeper I get into it, this is more like comedy. I'm sorry that she had her issues, but just hearing her tell this story, it's more like you're a bird brain. I'm sorry. That's what I'm getting, bird brain.
DR, like if you don't have a prescription, the highest painkiller that they're allowed to give you at the pharmacy is like a Tylenol extra strength. I don't even use Tylenol extra strength when I have a headache because it's...
You know, Eric say she talking all that and we'll do it again. Eric probably expeditiously, immediately, if not sooner, right? As soon as she logged off, she probably was getting ready to go in under the knife.
It doesn't work. Can you imagine after doing your body, having major surgery, liposuction, where your skin feels like it's about to rip apart, and then somebody saying, here you go, for your pain, a Tylenol, extra strength.
And you did it
I
again.
would never go through that again. Hell no. I need to feel it for me to understand. I still didn't learn my lesson after I took out the pain pump, because you know what I did? In the DR and in certain countries who do BBLs, they give you a drain. So basically a drain is like a tube that sticks out of your body. I had a tube right behind my arms because I had arm lipo, and I had a tube in my lower back.
She had arm lipo. This young, beautiful girl, arm lipo? Are you kidding? Arm lipo? Come on now. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing? Arm
Right
lipo?
on my butt crack. And that tube is basically to rid of all lymphatic fluids. When you get a BBL, you need to do like lymphatic drainage massages to get all the fluid out of your body. The lymphatic fluid comes out through that drain at the bottom. You just have to literally get a massage, and you massage out the fluid.
Yes,
and like,
Chris,
Like
okay.
comes out like pee through the drain. I always feel like I could play doctor, and I'm more qualified than the doctors to do things. You know, this is just, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm like this.
Hell, at my age, I could use some arm firming, but this is a young girl. What are you talking about?
But this is why, I don't know, I just do that. I don't know.
I know.
This can't be that hard. Why did I try to take out my own drain?
Here we go.
Take out my own drain.
This girl
And
is
I
a
remember
problem.
like pulling it, yanking it, like take it out. Instead of like waiting for a doctor, I'm there in the mirror, like with the drain half out, like looking in the mirror and like trying to like see the state.
And I ain't trying to be funny, but it looked like she got some, you know, they say double D's. It looked like she got some triple D's up, like up there, okay? And how heavy is it to carry them things around?
Holes in my back so I could take them out, and I'm just trying to yank it out, just wasn't going. And I remember standing by the mirror, and like I was so persistent. I'm like, this drain is coming out today. And I remember picking out the staples that were around the drain, and all of a sudden I like pulled the drain like this, and the whole thing just came out. I remember pulling it, and it was long, like it was a long piece of.
Y'all notice how she trying to get the BBL up in the frame, right? You talking about your arms and pulling something out, but now you trying to get the booty up in the screen, right? She want to show, she done showed off the chest. Now she trying to show us that BBL.
The freaking drain, you know? And like,
girl, just stand up and show. That's what you want to do.
bare fluid just came out. Like, it kind of felt like I peed myself. Like, was the sensation like pee coming out of your body through my back?
Yes,
you know?
20 years from now, it's going to be a nightmare.
I recommend any of you guys doing that at home. Like, don't pull out your drains. Like, don't be like me. I remember I just pulled out this drain and I pulled out.
Yeah, because what she's saying sounds ridiculous. You not pull. They will even tell you that. And if you are in that much pain, just a slight tug on something is going to hurt, man. We're not stupid.
That drain, and I'm just like, I could be a doctor. Like, give me my PhD certificate. Call me Dr. Brandy. Are you
A PhD in what, ma'am?
dumb? And last but not least, this is the third horror story that I'm going to tell you, and this is probably the worst one yet. I never talked about this as I was going through it because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want people to tell me, like, oh, I told you so, like, you shouldn't have did your body in the Dominican, like, whatever. First of all, I knew my doctor killed people because it's public knowledge. Like, I knew the doctor that I went to.
Okay, you guys. Eric already said she probably did it again and again and again. Did she just say she knew her doctor unalive people? This is comedy. This is comedy. Yeah.
Like, had deaths before, you know? Hearing about how, like, the Dominican water is not safe to put on, like, open wounds. You're supposed to not bathe with the Dominican water from the tap there, you know? I'm gonna take my chances. I'm 22 and healthy. I'm not gonna die. Granted, I didn't die, but I got a disgusting.
That's a lot of surgery for a 22-year-old. I'm gonna just say that. That's a lot of damn surgery. So if she starts doing this at 22, she got a whole nother 40, 50 years where she gonna have to keep going back for touch-ups and stuff. That's a lot.
Infection in my boob, guys. Okay.
Oh,
gosh. I never really thought I would tell my YouTube this story, but like, who cares? Like, this is educational at this point, and I'm alive. They told me not to bathe in the Dominican water. They told me not to put the water on my body. And I remember, first of all, I have ADHD and OCD, so I'm very compulsive and I have very obsessive, like, traits. Like, I bathe 3 times a day. If my bed's not made, I can't function during the day. Like, certain things like that, you know? And, like, taking a shower.
okay, you guys. Are y'all... Wait, Eric said she will have affection pulling out the... Yes, you can't do that. But why is she up here talking about she got OCD, ADHD? You got all these... You should be seeing a therapist instead of trying to get your body fixed. I'm just going to say, what about your effing mind, ma'am? Like, what? Our priorities be mixed up sometimes, for real.
Is literally one of my compulsive disorders. Like, I need to take a shower like 2 to 3 times a day. So after...
Girl, she said she was broke. She said she went to the DR. So, and she probably had some guys paying for it. I mean, that's what a lot of women do. Yeah, she probably was, you know, wearing them knee pads, doing what she had to do, bobbing for apples to get. That's what Cardi B did. I mean, they do the strip clubs, they do all those things, you know, the webcams. That's what they do. Which, you know, webcam pays good.
After you do your body, you're not supposed to shower for like 2 weeks, or like you're supposed to like pat down, you know? But I did not do that. I remember sitting in bed and I remember being so...
Chris, OnlyFans pays very, very well. Now, y'all, listen, y'all, I'm lying. I'm kidding. Chris says, I wish I didn't have more. I go, who you telling? Who are you telling? It was one point years ago, I told my mom, I was just kind of kidding, but I was halfway serious. I was like, because I had a friend who did the telephone stuff, and I was saying, I could do telephone. My mother was like, I wish you would. And I was like, yeah, but they don't know who you are. Girl, my mom was like, are you out your effing mind? Y'all just saying, you know, it was one of them down times in the economy like we are now. People are going to be resorting to a lot of stuff. And one thing about, listen, y'all, they say we're in a recession. It's still going to be men that's going to pay. Eric says she smell it. He said she's smelling already.
Right after you do your body, you're gonna itch and itch and itch and itch. It's so freaking itchy. Like you're just itchy. Like I remember I had pads like in all my holes. You know, like literally like period pads, like to cover like my incisions.
Period
they were
pads.
just dripping fluid out of them. And I remember I was in my faja and it was so tight and I was so itchy. And I remember
Chris says booty always sells, child. Recession or not, who are you telling, baby? They will be spending that last little nickel on a piece of coochie, okay? Yeah.
Kind of in and out of sleep, you know, my eyes were closed, and I remember like waking up out of bed and being like I'm itchy.
And those are facts, though. I think I saw some statistics, and they talked about certain things that will always, you know, people will spend their money on, and that's one. To be honest, it is one.
I need to go take a shower. I remember running into the bathroom, like, well, not running because clearly you can't run after surgery. It was more like a very slow but intense crawl, you know?
She can't even keep her life straight. First it was run, then it was a creep, and now it's a crawl. If you had all these damn surgeries, why you done got infected from the shower with the bad water? Now you slithering on the damn ground where we know the floor is dirty. This lady, come on, child.
Into the bathroom, and I remember I sat there. I just wanted to hop in the shower and like take a shower. I'm so itchy. So I get into the shower, and I remember I'm just bleeding profusely, and
Profusely,
of course, the
sweet
Dominican
profusely,
dirty water
okay.
touches my incisions, and like I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, I have antibacterial soap. I'm like, I'm still kind of itchy, but like I kind of feel a little better. And it sucks because your skin is literally numb after lipo, so you're literally like itching, and it's like you can't really feel it. So like,
wait, so she had a BBL, she had breast augmentation, and arm lipo. This pretty young lady. Okay.
you could be itching too much and damaging your skin. The shower that I took didn't even do anything because although I took a shower, I'm still extremely itchy, you know? That was the only shower I took when I was in the Dominican after surgery. But like I said, guys, they tell you, don't make your incisions get wet. I remember my left boob, the incision was amazing. It was like small and like skinny and like beautiful. I remember it was like, I'm like, wow, this is gonna heal so nicely, you know? But my right boob, for some reason, like the way it was, like it kind of looked like dumb. Like I can't explain it, like kind of like open a little, you know? And I remember like looking at my boob weeks later after surgery, like I still seen my incision like poking out. Like it's like they never closed my right boob. So fast forward, I remember I was doing this scar therapy from my boobs, a silicone scar sheet, like a sticky sheet you put on your scar and it stays there forever until it falls off and then you have to replace it. And what it does, it shrinks your scar. So I had my silicone scar sheets on my boobs from the very beginning. I went to New York 6 weeks after I did my body and I was still kind of stiff.
This is a lot for beauty. I mean, now I see what they mean when they say dying for beauty. I mean, seriously, that's what this is.
But like I was healing very nice. I had the scar sheet on my boobs the entire time. I was getting dressed and like I was doing my hair and I could put my hands up, you know? And like I smelled this smell. I was like,
Eric, you're right. That's sad. It's like, you know, sometimes you just got to be okay with who you are. Somebody's gonna like you. Every pot has a lid. That's what I always say.
What is that smell? Like it smelled like really bad, you know?
Oh,
and
Lord.
I'm trying to think, I'm like, what's that smell? Is it my armpits, you know? I take off my silicone tape off of my boob. It was my breast. My breast was stanking.
Oh!
My right boob was so infected, guys.
Oh,
like it was so infected that it stunk. I was so pissed. I was like, again, I'm in New York, you know, so I'm not trying to go to the hospital to get like billed a freaking hospital bill. Now that I'm noticing that my boob is infected, it's starting to hurt, you know?
Oh,
and
that's
I take off
sad.
the tape and like there's just pus and like there's literally like a hole in my boob, like a hole. The main thing that people fear when getting surgery abroad, I have it right now. Like this happened to me. I was pissed. So now I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, what if I have to what if the infection went all the way down to the implant? Like, what if I'm going to have to remove one of my boobs and then I'm going to look like a cancer patient, like with one missing boob? boob, or like what if the infection spreads and like I die? Like I was just thinking the worst. So then I go to CVS, got alcohol, and I'm putting alcohol on it and I'm cleaning the area. And I remember I read online that you're not supposed to put alcohol because it like kills the good and bad bacteria that wound needs. But I didn't care. Like I still put the alcohol on it and I put like an anti-cream on my boob, you know? As soon as I got back home to Toronto, I went to the doctors and I got a prescription and I started taking antibiotics to like help get rid of this infection, you know? And this whole time I'm literally thinking, looking online and seeing the worst, saying that I could have like a deadly skin infection, staph eats like your skin, and like pictures of people who had staph infection and like there was literally holes in their skin and like big ginormous.
No, I agree with you, Eric. You said, see, there, told you, yeah, infection. That's one of the most common things. And then she can get a staph infection. I worked with this guy when I was younger. I was like in my 20s. I worked at like a online tech company, and this one guy, he got a cut on his finger, and I don't know what, he went and handled some trash or something. It was like a little startup company, and the guy died over the weekend. They said he got some staph infection and it spread through his blood and he died.
Holes in their skin, and I'm like, I only had one hole, but like still, you know? As time progressed, guys, I remember looking down at my boob and like 2 little more holes were like there, like below it. Like so I had like a big hole at the top and like 2 little holes like in my boob. And like at this point, like I've been taking my antibiotics and like smell was gone, like there's no scent there. But like why isn't my wound healing? I literally took 2 rounds of antibiotics and still like I could see that it got a little better because there's no smell and like there's not much pus there anymore, but like the wound is not closing. I ended up having to go to the freaking hospital, guys. I went to the hospital and I ended up having to get 2 rounds of like IV intravenous antibiotics, and they were giving me a really hard time because they were like, oh, like you got your body done, like this is what happens when you don't get your body done in Canada. And I'm just like, shut up, honestly.
So she's Canadian. I thought she was American.
No. Long story short, after I got 2 rounds of intravenous and an ultrasound stating that like my boob was still fine and good to go, my boob eventually healed. So yeah, guys, those were my BBL horror stories. Comment down below if you guys have had any surgery horror stories yourselves. Us people, we live in such shame sometimes, and like we get ashamed, not even just shame, but like we don't want to hear people's mouth. Like we don't care to hear I told you so, or we don't care to hear like those things. Like I'm talking about it on my channel now because even if you guys say this is why you shouldn't get your body done in DR, blah 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 blah, like I'm at
Eric says she already scarred for life. The rest hasn't set in yet. I know. She's so young, right? Like, that's a lot of work, but she's going to have to get
like,
more,
my
too.
My mental is okay to hear the I told you so. And I'm fine, and I'm alive, and I still love my titties, you know, at the end of the day.
Okay.
And, yeah, this is just to show you guys that you guys need to really be careful. Really, really be careful in picking your doctor when you go to your body or your breasts. And making sure that they're qualified and they don't have any deaths.
Chris, I don't think so.
Any, like, history of infectious diseases.
Because I've seen her channel a few times before, and that's why I came back to this, and I haven't seen her talk about having kids or anything. But yeah, you're right. She's very young to have gone through all of that surgery and not possibly not even have kids.
After me of people going to the Dominican Republic and getting work done and coming back with disgusting infections, staph infections in their stomach, staph infections in their butt, like holes all over their body. Like, unfortunately, I was a victim of one of these stories. I'm just grateful that I'm alive, and I'm grateful that my stupid decisions as a kid didn't really affect me, but still gave me that little, like, lesson. So I'm aware, you know? Definitely be super careful, guys, when you're doing your body in any foreign country. Dominican Republic, their bodies are...
I said the same thing I was telling my daughter after, you know, especially if you breastfeed, it changes things.
So amazing. They're so good. I don't know.
It changes things.
Why? The DR, they just know how to shape a woman's body. But like,
Really?
there's too much stories on like infection there, you know?
She said in the DR they know how to shape a woman's body, but I've been hearing a lot of horror stories. Like, their medical standards are different. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I'm just saying, like, seriously.
So I would recommend anybody who is going to get work done abroad, go to Colombia. Colombia is so much safer, and like the doctors are just so much better there, and like the water isn't as bad there, you know? know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Literally, comments help so much with the algorithm, guys. So please, please, please like the video if you did enjoy it. I'm going to be exposing myself all the time. So this is just going to be one out of many other stories. I'm happy and I hope that this video helps somebody. For those of you who want to be involved in the surgery community, I have a Facebook surgery group that I will leave in the comment section down below for you guys so you can join. It's a very educational group. If you are planning on getting surgery or you know someone who wants to get surgery or...
Oh, that's a good one. You say you didn't enjoy it, you scared. That's a good one. I mean, this one, I thought she was going to talk more about the surgery, but it just sounded like she made some stupid mistakes, right? That was crazy. Do you guys remember the one lady who do you guys remember the one girl who had the surgery? Her boyfriend is on Wild 'N Out. You guys remember her? Let me see. I did a video on her. She died. Do y'all remember? What's her name? Okay, let me turn off I'm gonna turn off the camera because I gotta move around a little bit so I can find this one video. Let me see. Y'all, and I'm trying to learn how to do let's see. She had not a mommy makeover. Wait, she had a mommy makeover. No, she had surgery before. Okay, hold on. She had surgery before. Yes, girl, yes, you got it. Yes. I'm gonna go. I have a video I did on her. Let me see. Try to find my channel here. Y'all know I have another channel. I just don't really post on it. I had started it, but it's just hard to keep these channels up. It's so much, right? I don't even know if I can get to it since they kicked me out of my since I got kicked out of the... Oh, you know what? I'm so slow. I don't even have to go to the channel. I could just go here and play it. My bad. I'm as bad as the young lady who she said she got ADHD or whatever they call it. I guess I got it too. Did you guys see the thumbnail that I made? Did you guys see Erykah Badu when she was making a statement about the women in the BBLs and everything? I did a video about it, but it didn't look like nobody cares, so I said, okay. I'm looking for Jackie O. Jackie O, that's right, that's her name. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this was about the relationship, but I thought I had done something about how she died. Okay, well, y'all, since I'm here, I'm gonna play it anyway. Yes, a BBL suit with hairy armpits. That she was getting. Okay, I thought I did another video. Okay, so let me see it. Let me see if I can get this one. Okay, so I'm back here. So I'm turning it here. So you know Jackie O, that's another one that had a bad... You guys, this is when I used to try to do...
And we all know the truth is wrapped in comedy.
This is when I used to try to do video, you know, them long form videos.
The recent sudden and shocking passing of Miss Jackie O, Jacqueline Smith, the partner of celebrity comedian DC Young Fly, has caused social media to take a deeper look into her life and specifically their relationship, especially since she leaves behind 3 young children. Miss Jackie O achieved so much in her short life.
Now, this is the thing I want to say about Jackie O. A lot of people that were close to them as a couple, they said that Jackie O, yes, that's just what I was about to say. They said that Jackie O did a lot of this surgery because, well, for one, she was on Wild 'N Out, so there was a lot of competition. But she was so insecure because he liked women with big cha-chas, right? And that's one of the reasons she continued to have surgery.
She was an entrepreneur, a social media influencer, a realtor, and a Wild 'N Out girl, which is where she met her longtime partner, DC Young Fly, a star on the show. Miss Jackie O has over 1 million followers on YouTube and Instagram combined. She was a very popular influencer with paid sponsorships and a huge following. On her social media, she shared her family with her subscribers. She was a mother of 3 and gave birth to her youngest child just a year ago. She shared her beautiful home, her life, her children with her followers on Instagram and YouTube, and she also posted her relationship with DC Young Fly. Miss Jackie O was gorgeous, and like the image of perfection she wanted to project, she posted family events of her and DC, which showed a loving family of 3 with beautiful children. Most people are trying to figure out why a woman that most would consider gorgeous would risk her life trying to alter her body when she appeared to be beautiful and had 3 young children and had recently given birth. Was it just vanity from the pressures of being a social media influencer? Was it abandonment issues because her mother allegedly gave her up as a toddler and wasn't in her life? Or was it her relationship with DC Young Fly that made her feel inadequate and less than? While the room is divided on what caused her to feel the need to get plastic surgery, many people feel it was her relationship with DC Young Fly. Let's take a look at the relationship and some of the red flags and why some people feel that it was their relationship that led her to feel
he did.
insecure and inadequate. One of the first things that...
And also he followed this woman. Chris, you might know who she is. I think she's based in Los Angeles, but she's a black model. And she has like huge, and I forget her name, but she does a lot of the fashion shows or the bikini shows out there.
Was DC Young Fly's first
in
post
LA
about her death. Many people noted that he didn't seem to express a romantic connection with her, but focused on her being a great mother and didn't seem to focus on losing her as a lover, a wife, or a partner. Many felt his response was distant, but personally, I felt he was still in shock when he made that post. And I just felt like it takes time for these tragedies to be real. Like, I felt that he was still in shock. It's like he's going through the motions, but it's probably still surreal at the time that he made the post. I do admit that when I first read it, I felt like he didn't sound like he had lost the love of his life, but I dismissed my personal feelings like it's still too soon, it's still too new for him to really be able to even fathom what happened. So I didn't read much into it. But more and more people were expressing the sentiments that I tried to ignore. And then a few days after her death, there was a viral video on Mr. Viral, aka The Villain, in which a panel discussed her passing and whether or not it was the result of her relationship with DC Young Fly. Now, Brandon, aka Uncle Ruckus, had some very strong opinions, and I'm just gonna post a little bit of the clip here. Basically, he said they have 3 children together, and yet DC Young Fly did not make her a wife. While I agree with many of his comments, I think his delivery was harsh and just delivered at the wrong time. But he made some very valid points. So, you guys go check out the entire video. Here's just a clip.
Go ahead. I mean, I'ma just say it like what it is. Nigga don't give a shit about them kids. What? He out here, bruh. The nigga didn't. What the? The nigga didn't marry their mama. It's different. Listen, hold on. The nigga didn't marry their mama. Stuck 3 babies in her, never married. I think he's engaged. Hold on.
So what do y'all think about that? Just because a person doesn't get married, does that mean that they don't love you or they don't care about you? I think we're, for black culture, I'm not going to speak about other cultures, but I think in the black community, you have a lot of relationships. There's a lot of unwed, out of wedlock babies. I don't think that means that they're not in love, though.
Darn, they never said that she was his fiance. They were like his partner. When I watched the news, it went from partner to fiance. Niggas said a lot of shit when somebody dead. It was partner first. Let me finish. Hold on, let him say one word. Let me get his point on. She was his partner. She wasn't his fiance. The nigga's lying. That's for publicity reasons. PR. You put 3 babies in her. And you ain't married her yet. You don't give a shit about her. You don't care about them kids. Not enough. What, man? Wait. Look, I didn't say that without talking. Listen, bro. There's no reason why he should have let that girl.
So, that's, you know what, that would be a good show, because I kind of think differently about it. I think marriage is a contract, because love and marriage, to me, don't necessarily go together. You can love somebody, but marriage is really just a contract. But then that's a, you know, and I know we're online, so it's hard to go back and forth, because I don't want you thinking I'm, you know, Like, but I don't necessarily believe in marriage. I do want my daughter to get married because that's supposed to be the way or how you should do things. But I do, like you said, marriage is business. I think marriage is business, and love is something different. I don't know. And there's historical information as to how we arrived towards marriage for women and what it meant. And so I just think we've gotten away from it, and people think. I mean, that would be a good topic. That would be a whole nother. That's a good topic.
Do that.
And a whole nother
Because
video.
she's trying to do that shit probably because he out smashing other chicks, and she like, damn, I gotta be able to compete with these chicks. Like, we talk about everything but except what it really is. She trying to keep up with that nigga. She trying to make sure she still looks attractive so he look at her like something. And she's going and getting under the knife for that stuff. And people don't believe that. But when you was bad, like how she bad, and then you having babies and shit, and your body start taking hits, and your man out on the road smashing groupies, and you know it, because you know they know it. They know it. You gotta know it. You now are like...
That's true. I mean, I agree with you. But again, that's the whole point. It's mainly a business. It's a contract. Has really nothing to do with love, though.
What about me? What do I gotta do to get him to look at me like he once did?
I do agree with his point that she may have been feeling insecure due to trying to compete with the women DC Young Fly may have allegedly been cheating with while he was on the road, or however he encountered these women while, you know, she was at home taking care of 3 children. And if you watch her videos and if you watched him on videos, you do know that it appears that he was always away and she was primarily the one at home raising those kids alone. Not to say that he wasn't in their lives, not to say that he wasn't there, but he was pretty much working a lot, you know, but her work kept her in the house with the children. So some of the debate was, if he really loved her, why didn't he wife her? I was on the fence about the marriage component because not all women want to be married. It's reported that she was financially independent, so marriage may not have been the brass ring for her. But after 3 children, and just based on the videos that
Yeah, Chris, this would be a good debate, you know, a friendly debate, you know, like, I do believe in marriage, but I've never personally, and I've been engaged more than once, okay? I don't believe in marriage to that degree, or the way that Americans say it. I think it works better if you know, if you are under the contract and you stick together, you're making things work. But most times people think when they get married, there's not going to be cheating and all those other things. So that's why we have divorce. But I see that it works very well for like in the Indian culture. I mean, I see examples where it worked, but they have a whole different dynamic. But that would be a great topic, right?
I saw the way he treated her and the way she seemed to really be such a sweet soul and loving him. My opinion kind of changed. I feel that if he really wanted to make her a wife, that she would have married him. That's just my opinion. I don't know that to be a fact. If you look at her Instagram and YouTube channel, she posted beautiful family events, parties, Disneyland trips. The optics were dreamy, like a happy 2-parent family. You don't have to be married to be a happy family, but if you look deeper at her videos, we see them DC Young Fly.
And that's another thing that people talked about was they posted, hold on you guys 1 second. She would post these videos like, you know, they were so happy together, but people really got to understand, we're not going to post the bad. I mean, well, people do post some things, you know, where they want the likes and everything if it's a trend or whatever, but most people aren't necessarily posting the truth about their marriages and behind the scenes until it falls apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to put forth that image that we're a happy couple, and that's exactly what they accused her of doing, because they said DC Young Fly had multiple women
and her together. But if you notice, in the last couple of years, he doesn't appear to be very affectionate to her. He's at the family functions, they're there together to show a united front for the kids, but he doesn't seem to be romantically connected or engaged with her. He's there for the major family events, they pose together, take beautiful photos, the optics are great. You know what it's like for a man to fall all over you and treat you like you're the love of his life. I mean, for ladies, those of you who have had a man that just you know, thought you were the best thing, you know he's always over you, touching you. I mean, it didn't come across in their videos. I'm sorry. If you look at her page and you look at multiple videos, you see them as a family, but he just did not appear to be that engaged. Now, some men that's just not their nature. They're just not the romantic and touchy-feely kind. But on the flip side of that, he also made some demeaning and, you know, remarks that were very disrespectful. So with him not being very romantic and then talking down to her, it kind of leads me to believe that he just wasn't that into the relationship. He's a comedian, but there are too many videos that are showing him disrespecting her and possibly making her feel bad about herself. No matter what a person's occupation, there's no excuse or no reason to berate your partner. So after her passing, there are videos that resurfaced of him making fun of her body. And we all know the truth is wrapped in comedy. Of course, there were videos with him in the background, you know, just making little comments.
And Chris, that's what you said earlier. You said that he would make comments or he made fun of her body. That's what friends close to them said too.
Off-color comments, but I'm sure they still hurt. While it may have been part of his comedic persona, those blows about her body clearly hit and had an impact. If you watch the videos, everyone interprets them differently. Like, I might watch the video and think, oh, that's horrible. What he said is awful. Somebody else may watch it and go, no big deal. Some people see it as harmless jokes, while others feels it was total disrespect. Considering the fact that Miss Jackie O lost her life trying to improve her looks, we can surmise that the constant jabs took their toll. If you're in an industry that constantly makes you question your appearance, your youthfulness, how pretty you are, and your partner is making jokes about it publicly, where are you getting that affirmation? Where are you getting your validation? It should be from yourself. However, we know that we rely on people, our family and friends, to validate us. And so if her partner wasn't supporting her in that way, I can see how it took its toll. And during my research, I did see some sites where they talked about rumors of DC Young's previous cheating. I saw something that somebody posted saying that it was well known around the set of Wild 'N Out that, you know, when he went on the road, that he did have other relationships and she tolerated it and took him back time after time. I don't know if this is fact, you know, these are rumors, but that's some of the information that's floating out on the internet. There are also reports and rumors that he allegedly possibly has a fourth child that's not with her. And this child may have been born during their, you know, the time that they've been dating, because I believe they've been dating since around 2015. So, you know, that's quite some time. Still, for me, all of these are allegations and conjecture. We don't know that any of this stuff is true. But after seeing some of the old videos where I felt like he was kind of talking down to her and being a little disrespectful, my opinion of their relationship did start to shift a little bit. I was like, this is not the perfect, you know, fairy tale romance that I think she wanted to project. I think Jackie O really was a great mom and really she was very family oriented, and it may have been because of, you know, the situation with her mother. And I think she really tried to project this image, but I don't feel, based on what I'm seeing, my interpretation.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's a fact. Oftentimes, you know, and the preference think that they're getting something and they get dogged out worse than us, to be honest, because we know how to deal with them. We was raised with them. Our brothers, uncles, dads, please, we already know.
Of the information and the data that I see online, it doesn't seem like he was aligned with that. So as I was reading and coming across different sites and information about their relationship, I mean, there's a lot of stuff online. You know, if you find, you'll find these little blind items and different posts where people post things, and again, it's online, so you can't validate the information. But somebody referenced the video that he did, and it's called Poor Minds, episode 221. So people are questioning whether or not they were married. So it sounds like, no, they weren't married. Were they engaged? If you look at her videos, you don't see an engagement ring on her finger. I haven't heard that there was an engagement party or an announcement, so I haven't been.
Do you remember after at her funeral, allegedly he either put a ring in the casket or put it on her finger while she laying up there unalive? I thought that was just disgusting.
Able to confirm that they were engaged. So as far as I know, they were co-parent.
So you gonna marry the woman in her death? Come on, DC Young Fly. We know you're a comedian, but that's pretty low.
They had children together and may have had a relationship.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if you saw it, Chris, but in her casket, I think he pulled out a ring. I don't know if he put it on her finger. I can't remember because I mean, this was like 2 years ago when I did all of this video, but it was like, it was bizarre. It was, ew.
Now, when I watched this video, Poor Minds episode 221, this solidified it for me that I believe in the last couple of years of their relationship, they were not a monogamous official one-on-one couple. There was a post and this person said there's a video of DC Young Fly saying that he was into polygamy and wanted to have 10 children. I'm like, yeah, I need to see this for myself. So did some searching and found the video. So I did watch the video. And it left me feeling like in the last few years, although she had another baby by DC Young Fly, they didn't appear to be a couple. If they were his...
And you know what? This is kind of giving me Cardi B vibes because she had that last baby. She had the last baby by him. But for why? I mean, you guys were already having, problems. Just like Cardi had that third baby to end up getting a divorce. But let's be honest. A lot of preferences go through this. Lauren London is another example. Yeah, but what? I don't know, Lauren. Yep. You said Cardi B. Yep. I don't know Lauren London's. I don't know her story. Are you talking about with Nipsey? Because allegedly Nipsey had another woman, a white girl, while he was with Lauren. A lot of that stuff came out. I think I even did stuff a little bit on that Nipsey hustle situation. That relationship wasn't all it was cracked up to be either. I think she tried to come out as Coretta Scott King like she was the long-suffering widow. But first of all, they weren't married. Number two, he had some other women. Let's just be real. And so I think optically it looked good for her to be that woman up, the front, because she was an actress and she was pretty. But when I remember doing stuff on that story, she wasn't his main thing. As a matter of fact, were they even really together? I mean, they were together, but I think he had somebody else now. Chris, you're gonna make me go back and dust off some old stuff. That's my point. Rumor was he treated, yes, and it was for sex. Yep, yeah, okay. I'm just reading what you wrote. Lil Wayne first, Nipsey allegedly Diddy. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of weird stuff about Lauren. I didn't know that she was that into the,
were suspect. He responded that he was into polygamy. He confirmed that he was going to have more children with different women.
Yes.
And he didn't like them calling or referencing her as his baby mama. She called it the queen.
So that one girl, I know who you're talking about, she was on Crip or something. Yeah, they said that they still messed around, but no, it was her, but there was also a white girl who, oh girl, it's deep. Yeah, he had a couple. It wasn't just her. She knew it.
He referred to her as the queen of his children. So that, again, does not say that's my girl, my woman, my fiance, my wife. It's the mother of the queen mother, or whatever he said, some BS in my opinion, of his children. So that doesn't sound like there was a connection on his part, like they were like a legitimate couple.
Locked in.
After watching this video, I believe at the time of her death, she was not the sole woman he was dating. I get the feeling they had children together, but they weren't necessarily a traditional couple. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have another child by another woman, which just hasn't been publicized yet. Again, as I was reading the various sites, apparently there have been different posts or different people releasing information. And I guess the rumor started about a year ago that he actually does have another baby. That has not been confirmed yet, so it's just still an allegation, but I wouldn't be surprised. They also mentioned during this podcast that he, believed in some of the same principles as Nick Cannon. Like you can populate and have children with more than one woman and sustain more than one household. So with all of this information and with these new videos surfacing, I'm thinking that, they had children together and this whole, PR campaign that they were a couple and his longtime partner, I'm not buying it. I think that, they weren't necessarily together. They made public appearances for PR purposes and for the sake of the children, and that was about what it was. And only time will tell, but I just don't think they were together. And I do believe that DC Young Fly probably has another woman, as people are alleging, and possibly multiple women. Anyway, watch the videos. You jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. At the end of the day, we are praying for those 3 children. We are still praying for DC Young. I don't care what their relationship is. I'm sure it's still a loss. And we're just praying to give their family strength during these tough times. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Are you into polygamy?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Yeah,
So
this
you're
is.
gonna have more than one.
So this is the okay. So I'm just gonna play that last clip where he talks about being into polygamy, and I believe it was while she was still alive.
Videos, you jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. At the end of the day, we are praying for those 3 children. We are still praying for DC Young. I don't care what their relationship is. I'm sure it's still a loss. And we're just praying to give their family strength during these tough times. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Are you into polygamy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woman.
So you're gonna have more than one baby mama.
I would want to say queen of my children. I don't like to use.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you're gonna have one more than queen
yes.
of your. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You see how? See, he full of ish. Queen of my children, girl. Like, please, sir, that's some bull crap right there. But Chris, you made a good point. Now you got me wanting to go back and uncover what happened with Nipsey, Lauren, and this other woman. Exactly the queen. Like, how do and they get women to buy into this? If you were to get a man to say, "Well, I want you to be the king of my children, but not my," like, and while I have multiple men, girl, they would be ready to bop you in your. You know what I'm saying? Like, they feel like they can just treat us and say any damn thing, and women are supposed to accept it. Why? You know what I mean? And she was an attractive woman. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Just like this whole thing with Emily B, right? People are saying, no, I know Emily B, which is Fabulous's ex. Like, again, she's a preference. He dogged her out. I mean, he done took everything from her, but now she's with allegedly Country Wayne. And it's like these men, they just dog these women. I mean, that whole relationship, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Allegedly, Country Wayne is supposed to be ready for marriage and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. But it's like, these men, they do so much and these women accept it. Like, y'all in the circle of professional men. Why do they get stuck with the same old men? They want to be stuck in that same circle. There are a lot of men. They're professional men. They're accountants. There are Wall Street kind of guys. Like, I feel like some of these IG models, one of the reasons that they don't go outside of the music industry is because, well, I just heard yesterday, I was watching something. I was watching something. So Chris says they attract what's inside of them. I think also this one guy was saying, who was it? I don't know if it was on the Breakfast Club or whatever. But I believe that they said that they all date the same little industry women because these women, first of all, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but this is something that's supposed to be real too. There are a lot of STDs floating around. And so a lot of the people, and they mentioned Usher, like they all have these little issues. And so a lot of the industry women, they kind of swap them out because they're used to doing, say, for example, a Future. Say if he dates woman A, and then he's done with woman A. Well, woman A will go to Usher because she already knows what it is. There's probably going to be threesomes. There's going to be some pegging. There's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know what is required. And so I was listening to somebody talk about that's why there's such a small group of industry women. Because I was saying, they're beautiful women. Like, why do they keep swapping the same women? That makes sense. It's like they've been, they've assimilated into the lifestyle, so they know what's required. They know they're supposed to keep their mouth shut, like the Amber Rose or something. Like these women that they keep swirling, swapping around. if these women know that there's a check that comes with it, they're supposed to be quiet. They sleep with men and women. They do whatever is required. They know, they've already been trained. And so somebody was making the case that that's why a lot of these celebrity men. So yeah, I gotta go look up Lauren London. I got to, because I did hear that she had a connection with Diddy, and I can't remember everything. That's it. I have an idea. What's your idea? Um, what's your idea? Because I think Diddy. Yes. Okay. She was Cassie's friend. There's a whole little weird angle. Wait, did she know Kim Porter too? uh gone to a deep dive. Yeah, this is so yeah, yesterday I saw a video, and I like to watch some of those like the MREX and everything. That's how I found. Yeah, you got me thinking I need to go back, because I remember stuff about Lauren London, but there's this one white girl who, this whole thing with Big U, and I didn't get to do stuff on Big U. I don't know what was going on, but um there's a whole thing with WAC 100, and there's this one girl who was like the connector, who was getting money in Los Angeles and knew a lot of the celebrities. And Nipsey had gone to a basketball game with her. There's another channel that was following this whole thing when it first happened. I wasn't that into it because I didn't know Nipsey Hussle that well, and I kind of only got into it after his death. But and then Lauren came up, and the houses and everything, and what was really going on with them as a couple. So you done got me off topic, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, a deep dive is a good one. Also, another good one is going to be, I think a good one is the marriage thing. Do a panel on it. You should do a panel. Um, I just think that's a good topic. It's just because it's so many relationships now in the Black community where we're just having children and we're not married. And are you gonna come up? Yeah, I'll come up. Just let me know. Yeah, I honestly, Chris, if you've been watching me, yeah, okay, yeah, I will. I don't like being on camera. I just don't, and I'm trying to figure out how to do a balance. I prefer to do my pre-recorded, but if you let me know, yes, I don't like being on camera. So anyway, if we do, are we allowed to, put our little avatar up? And I'm not saying I will, but just let me know. Yeah, and I'll come up and do it, because I think that's you don't have to be, okay. I mean, and I don't even mind. Some days I'm good, but that's another thing, like what we just talked about with this whole thing. When you're in social media, they want you to look a certain way, and right, it's drama. But yeah, I think that's an awesome topic. The whole marriage thing, and personally, I was not married. I elected not to be. I believe, of course, you want to get the ring and you want to feel like somebody wants to marry you, but okay, yeah, okay, cool. It's sort of like I always used to say, when people talk about marriage, I would say forever, ever, forever, ever. And I always was quoting Kanye West, right? I was like, just like Kanye West says, forever, ever, forever, ever. Y'all, and this is no lie. Today I was driving somewhere and the radio was on, and they said forever, it's Outkast. I've been quoting this thing for years, giving Kanye credit for that. That's not Kanye's line. That's Outkast. And I think that's why people will be like, what the hell is she talking about? Because when people talk about marriage, I'll be like, I don't know. Because I don't think there's anything in life that I would want to do forever, ever, forever, ever. You said I'm blessed to see an example of marriage working. I've seen a couple. I've only seen a few couple. I mean, I've seen some, but for the most part, Chris, most of these marriages are raggedy. I'm just gonna say it. People are just not loyal. It's hard to mail two people together to be on one page. And I'm not knocking it, so I don't want to sound negative, but I think statistically in the United States, our percentage is like 58% of marriages end in divorce. So that doesn't even talk about the marriages that are not even functional, where they don't even get a divorce, they just walk away. So yeah, To each his own, and I love beautiful black. I trust me. Whenever I see couples that are happy, and I'm like, oh, it's so sweet. Oh, I can't wait to be in love again. So Chris says, what's the difference in playing house though? It's the same without the contract. So let me say this. When you enter the contract of marriage, there's a thing though of being drug into court and all the things that you become liable for because of another person. So I think it just kind of depends on, this is stuff you should do for your panel. So we can, if you do your panel, because I'm not pro marriage, and I know most people are, so I know it'll be it will be an unpopular opinion. Because girl, I was on Gigi's channel about maybe a couple weeks ago, and I think you watch it because I think I seen you in her chat, and OG Patrice came on, and we were talking about Angie Stone, and I had the unpopular opinion. Oh, okay. So we were talking about Monique, and I don't know if you remember Monique. She made some comments about Tyler Perry, and I just didn't feel it was appropriate after, for her to make the statements about how Tyler Perry, what he had done, and he owed her money. I understand her making the comments like, Tyler, you ain't fooling nobody. But what I didn't like was the fact that she did it on the heels of Angie Stone's death. This is her moment. Let her fans grieve her. We don't give a damn about what you and Tyler are going through at this moment. So I was on the panel, and OG Patrice, because OG Patrice is in the, she's an artist and stuff. So I did defer to what she said it wasn't a combative, we had our own opinions about everything, but she was saying as an artist, when would be a good time for somebody to make a statement? And I just said, but I just feel like it wasn't her moment. I felt like you, on the heels of her death, don't talk about what did you do for me. How narcissistic, and y'all, I hate saying that word, because I be like, it's one of the most misused words, at this time. Who the hell, like, we ain't no clinicians and stuff. We don't even know the full definition of a narcissist. It's a clinical definition, but we just throw it out there. But anyway, I used it in that regard, right? I just feel like, why are you using her death to go at Tyler Perry? And we know that he's a snake. We know that he's a fraud. But right now, like, on the heels of her funeral, and talk about how you did this for her, well, you're the same person who's been still, like, I just felt, excuse me, I just felt it was in poor taste. But, a lot of the people, and there were some people in the chat that agree with me, but again, OG Patrice was saying that as an artist, you said, but I could see also Angie cheering Mo on because of her being screwed over in the industry. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I mean, that's what OG Patrice was saying. Like, when do you come forward? At what time are you supposed to speak? Like, it happened, so she's saying it in real time. But I just think that Monique has talked about this for years. And see, here's my point. So OG Patrice was saying, we as artists, but my point is that we as women we don't have to be in the industry to have been screwed over. We get screwed over in corporate. So we know what it's like. I mean, I think everybody just had this lens that, well, it's the music industry. No, it's not. I've talked about this before. I sued a Fortune 500 company in the Bay Area. We get railroaded too. We have to fight and stand up. Chris says, girl, she says she will talk about it until she is unalive, and then tell her kids to keep talking about it. So, and another thing why Monique, to me, it was I didn't feel it, because Monique is always, yes, babies and my sweet loved ones. She's so quick to tell us what to do, but she didn't, when people were telling her that she need to reconcile with her son or take their drama offline, she don't want to hear it. Exactly. Oh, sugar plums, my sweet dear babies, me and daddy. Like, you could dish it, but you can't take it. And I hate for somebody to always be the one to tell everybody else what to do, but you can't listen. Like when OG Patrice was making her points, again, I respect the fact that she is in the industry, so I'm going to defer I'm not going to solely change my opinion, but I'm going to listen. Like, okay, I got you, And I wasn't up there to be going back and forth with her because it's Gigi's show. So I'm there to support, Gigi. But I'm just saying, like, still, to me, it just wasn't the time. Now, maybe you agree with Monique, and I support Monique. Yeah, you should always keep talking about it. But isn't there a time and place for everything? Let this woman, let her have her moment. We don't need to have your name commingled with the Tyler Perry and her, her death, her untimely passing, and the fact that he paid for it. Her family was okay with it. So it's like, you're knocking this man who did something that her family was okay with. Like, I just wasn't with it. But but anyway, I guess you said her son's situation. Now, I don't know what her son's situation. I heard a little bit. It was so much with the Angie Stone. Like, people think that she was unalived, and I feel like, based on the fact that she was saying that they were coming for her and the music industry and all this, that it may be something nefarious. However, just logically speaking, to me, it seems kind of, if you're gonna take somebody out, the way it just wasn't done in a very, I don't want to say a linear fact. Like, that is just not how you would do it. A car accident with multiple people, and then a 18-wheeler. Like, it seemed like an accident. I think when people are trying to unalive you, that they have a better strategy. That's what I'm just thinking. And you might not want to include so many people. So I just thought it was odd. But we got off topic, but I thank you. This was a good topic. But yeah, if you do the marriage, because I feel like a lot of people are not gonna be on my side, but no, sorry to you, because I liked it. I like the debate. It was good. It was good and healthy. But yeah, I just think when you do it, I don't think a lot of people are gonna agree, because I think a lot of people still hold out for marriage, and I still do believe it. Like I said, I would want my daughter to be married. However, I don't have a lot of faith in it. I think most people go into marriage knowing that that they can get a divorce, right? So yeah, just let me know when you're gonna do it, and yeah, it should be fun. And Chris, I'm just a suggestion, do what's good for you, but can you do it more like towards the latter part of the week? Because my schedule's been a little bit crazy. I've been doing a little bit more lately. So if you can, like the latter part of the week, I think people are more loose and have fun and stuff like that. But it's up to you. Whenever, just let me know. Yeah, Fridays are good. Thursdays or Fridays are good. But again, whatever's good for you. Do you have a list of content creators that you can invite across, and so you can get a cross section? It'll be fun. That'll be cool. So just let me know, and I'll be there. But okay, y'all, I'm going to end it here. I wanted to talk about, and my biggest challenge is being consistent. So I need to try to be a little bit more consistent. But I wanted to talk about, did you talk about Terrence Howard? Because I think, I appreciate that, but no, not really. I'm not consistent. Yeah, but I'm growing, but that's an off camera kind of conversation. Growing, but that's not, I looked at my numbers from back in 2022, 23, and they were different. Like, the money was different. So I don't know, yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess it takes time to get back there once you've been demonetized. So make sure you try not to get demonetized. I did with my members what I said may get me. Wait, what? I forget what I said. I did with my members what I said. Usually, they will demonetize your videos, right? But okay. But and I want to talk about that too, because I feel like a lot of people are talking about Diddy, but if you listen to what he said, I think the elephant in the room is the fact that he said he didn't do it. So that kind of negates all this thing about how Diddy railroaded people into doing stuff, because ultimately he at the end of the day, Terrence Howard let us know it's a choice, right? So all these people saying Diddy did this, okay, he did, but Terrence didn't fall subject to it. So that to me kind of negates a whole lot of BS that people are saying. You know, I'm not saying that he didn't take advantage of some people, because I'm sure he did, but that was crazy. But oh, the demonetization. I was not demonetized for you know, just like when you demonetizing a video is one thing, but what I noticed is that for one, mainly the things that are probably going to cause demonetization, or what I got demonetized before, was reused you know, videos, or excuse me, content. So if you say something in one video, they will probably just demonetize the video, but it won't demonetize your whole channel. The things that are going to demonetize your channel is going to be things like reused content, you know. Yeah, the reused content. And the bad thing about it is they don't tell you what was the reused content. And so that's why it's always iffy using, well, music not so much anymore, but using other people's video. The safe thing that they say do is to not use anybody else's video, because I've been using other people's videos lately, which I really keep telling myself I shouldn't, because all it takes is one person to get you with a copyright strike, and then you might have to fight it with the fair use, but you may not win, right? So that's one challenge. But yeah, you keep your channel clean, you know. Just try to keep your channel clean, because once you get demonetized, it's really a hard fight back. I always scream fair use before play, hoping that helps. Yeah, that's what they say you should do. But if somebody, and most of this stuff isn't really copyrighted. Like copyright is done through the U.S. Congress, Library of Congress, or whatever. I don't have the exact title. So most of their stuff isn't necessarily copyrighted. So it's kind of a YouTube kind of copyright, right? So sometimes people are able to get around it. But the best, what they generally tell us is to, if you didn't create it, then it's not yours. And I think most creators don't. Oh, okay. You took on a corporation and one. Okay, with fair use. Okay. They tell you here, you know, just on YouTube, the best thing to do is just to not do it, you know. So most of this stuff is not necessarily copyrighted, to be honest, right? This is just like YouTube videos, and we have not filed it as a copyrighted material. There's a whole process of copyright, and that's not this. You create a video and you say, I did it, but there's really no copyright filed for this. Now, I know there's one creator, I won't say his name, but his YouTube stuff is copyrighted. He has filed whatever the proper documentation so that his stuff is legitimately copyrighted. But and maybe some music you create could be copyrighted, but when we create these videos, we are not following the copyright. So, you know, but still, under YouTube, people can say, oh, it's my video, you shouldn't use it. Oh, we all know who you're talking about. Maybe well, there's one person who he copyrights his videos. He's been on YouTube for a minute now, and I don't think it's the person you think I'm thinking about, because I know another person that most people would think, but this other person, he's been around for some years. Yeah, no, I think I know who you talking about. Yeah, but no, not that one. That's that one person uses music and stuff, but this person actually, they did, because they had gotten into a beef with some other people, and then they didn't want people using their content, so it was a big fight. So they started getting stuff copyrighted, not music, but their actual videos, allegedly. I don't know, child. You know, I don't know. But anyway, girl, and the other couple of other people that's still on here, I'm going to log off for now. I'm just trying to be consistent. That's my biggest challenge. Thank you, Chris, for the great live. But girl, my thing is just trying to do it consistently. The consistency is what really is supposed to, you know, get you in the algorithm. And I am not consistent. I mean, I appreciate that. Thank you, girl. But I'm not, though. There's this one channel, G Media or something. He comes on it's 2 channels. They come on every morning at 7 a.m. the same time every day. That's consistency. Every day, Monday through Friday. Oh, you're not consistent either. See, that's the thing. And then people don't get your notifications, and they don't know when you're coming. So if you could have a schedule, you're supposed to have a schedule. Like, that's what I need. But I prefer pre-recorded anyway. I really that's not my thing. But I'm trying to be comfortable doing that because that's what you're supposed to be doing. They say I'm more consistent. Oh, that's sweet. That's good. Yeah, but girl, pre-recorded can pay good if you. I know, but I was looking at, because if you look, see, here's the thing. What you do, go to your studio, because I was going through it saying, wait a minute, go to your YouTube studio, look at how much you're getting paid for lives, the RPMs or CPMs or whatever, and look at how much you're getting paid. See, because I can't really show you here. But if you're girl, look at your analytics and really look at what you're getting paid per 1,000 views. If you look at the live percentages, it's pennies, right? But if you look at your pre-recorded, it's actual, it may be like 7, 5, 6, I'm going to say anywhere from $4 to $7, okay? Per 1,000 views. But if you go to your lives, it's going to be less it's going to be it's not going to be that high. I think it's pennies on the dollar or something like that. So it's going to take more. Where you get the money is once you upload the live, or once you're done with the live. It's the playback is where you get the $4, $5, $6, $7 per 1,000. You see what I'm saying? So oftentimes when you're doing lives, they're good. They can grow your channel, stuff like that. But you're not going to get the same, you don't really get the bang for your buck, that I think. And I could be wrong, but I just looked at my analytics and I was trying to figure it out. And I looked at my videos, and I made more money with my videos, even this last month, with the pre-recorded videos than I do with the lives. So, hey, loving myself, welcome to the chat. We are just talking about videos and everything. About to get off of here. I was talking to Chris. Yeah, go to your YouTube studio. Look at your pre-recorded videos, like the RPMs and stuff. Because remember, everything is still 1,000. You're getting paid per 1,000 views. So, and look at how much you make for your lives versus your pre-recorded. And then so once you go live, you're still going to get paid, but what you're going to look at is the money changes per 1,000 once it's a playback. So say, for example, you had, like, let's say you had 600 people in your live. Well, it's not going to really calculate as 600 views the way it would if you had the same 600 views on a pre-recorded. So you're going to be 600 times or whatever, 0.81 cents or whatever. Once you hit 1,000 views, I mean, once you get the playback and then you get the 1,000, that's where you start getting into the $5, $6, $7, or $8, $9. But anyway, go look at your studio, go check it out, and you'll see, and just do the calculations. But remember, there's the live versus okay, so maybe you do it more. My pre-recorded, like when I look at my pre-recorded, I make more. And I had some good ones that really, a couple of them that went, maybe that was it, but for the last, and then I don't go live that much either. Like, I'm not consistent. I don't go every day. But and then I looked at some lives that I had done a few years ago. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But look at your RPMs per yes, look at your RPMs for your lives versus your RPMs for pre-recorded. That's what you want to look at, though. Because if you get 1,000 views on a pre-recorded, that could be a straight 7, 8, whatever it is. But if you look at your RPMs for your lives, it's going to be less per. It's not even gonna be $1. if I'm correct. So while I'm listening to you while we're on. So go look at it, or if you look at it, you're gonna see it's low for lives. It's gonna be low. It's gonna be lower. I don't mean to say it's low, but it's not even gonna be like $1 or $2. It is, huh? Oh, okay. So then maybe I don't know. Maybe for me, maybe well, my channel is older too. So maybe for me, it's I don't. Yeah, my lives are much lower than for my pre-recorded. Are for your pre-records? Are they up to in the upwards of like $7 or something? How many? But you probably. But okay. Oh, okay. So then maybe because my channel is older, I don't know. But yeah, I don't. And see, but remember, so my channel is older, so I still have old videos, and I was looking at my analytics, and my biggest girl. That's why I'm saying my biggest where I was making money like $500-600 on a video was with Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's where I was making the money, but I don't want to do that. Bro, shorts make they don't. Shorts, they make some money. They make a little, but it's like pennies on the dollar again. Your shorts, I mean, and here's another thing. Everybody is different. So I don't want to say what you should or shouldn't do because, people get to debating or whatever. But I'm just telling you how I see it. The one thing about shorts, my channel grew previously with shorts, but they're gonna grow your channel, but you're not getting those viewers for your long form videos. And I'm pretty sure, look it up, your long form videos, unless you're getting a lot of super chats and stuff, over the time, if your long form videos start getting thousands of views, because think of it like this. Well, I don't know, because I guess everybody's channel is different. But say, for example, if I do a live, like now, it's kind of going in and out. It's going to be, I will need to get over 1,000. I'm going to get it's probably going to be $1 or 0.81 cents, whatever, for whatever, right? So that's not going to be a lot. Even if I had 1,000 views, but if I had 1,000 actual pre-recorded views, it's straight off going to be $6, $7, or $8, period. Which that's not going to be, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining it right. But again, I guess it just depends on everybody's channel, I guess. So, no, the algorithm, you just got to keep grinding. And once you get in the algorithm, don't do what I do and slack off, because that's what I did. I was not serious before, and so it'd be like I have great times, be like and then the demonetization, that kind of pissed me off, so I wasn't putting as much effort into it. But the algorithm is difficult. You just got to keep doing it. You might get one video that that catches, and then once you get it, you're good. Yeah, I noticed the first two is slow, and then the fourth day the views jump up. And then I think it's also what you're reporting on too, because like I said, when I was doing Love and Marriage Huntsville, my numbers were off the chart. I can go back and look at my analytics, I was like, damn, I didn't know I made that much on that video, right? Those are really, really good. So it's kind of finding a niche where the competition is where you're going to be ranking in that sector. That's a lot too. People always say, everybody's video, and it is true, but they're still, when you're going against a Tisa Tales or something, we're getting pushed down, so it's still trying to find that one space where you're seeing your numbers are climbing. You are supposed to constantly, build on that. And that's one of the things that I, didn't do consistently, and it'll come. It might take time. Sometimes it'll take a year, 6 months to a year. Yeah. Yes, yes. It just takes time. You just got to be patient. And another thing I noticed too is build your own audience. This is a good one I've learned. Even though we have cross subscribers, and that's cool. That's because, but what happens is that sometimes, because somebody came on and they were like, oh, you're on, and then so and so is on, I got to choose. It's like, no, you don't have to choose. Just hit the like button and you can go back. So build your audience that's going to be organic for you. That's something that I learned as well. Like you don't you want people that are just, because we're all going to share subscribers, but you really want to build a base of people that are solely interested. Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie, I don't be going to all the lives, but what I'm saying is that some people, if you're like, say for example, if me and you have somebody, we have a same subscriber. I've heard, because trust me, I've heard the thing. Oh, I was in so and so's live, and you're live. I gotta go back. People do that. So what you want to do is you really want to get your niche people that are just for you, for whatever your content is, and it doesn't matter if Celebrity Scandalist is live or whoever. Your numbers are going to be strong and solid just based on the core audience you build. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And that just takes time. That just takes time for, your people to find you, like, because we can refer each other, but people have a solid base. So you want to get your solid base. You want to get your solid audience. Yeah, I mean, you like, I could say, oh, go follow Chris, and some people will, some people won't. What you want to get is the people that just organically come to you, don't care about me, they don't care about the other content creators. They are solely there for Chris, and then the scragglers, that's cool. But once you get that base, and you see a lot of people who have it, they could tell people to subscribe, they could tell folks to subscribe to us a million times. They not bothered because they're not there for other people. They are solely there for that content creator. That's what we want to get. That's what you want to get. And that's what I was building with Love and Marriage Huntsville, but that fell off, right? So you want to get that core audience, something. You want to find your people. Once you build strong enough, you said my focus are the views. Yes, the views matter more. Absolutely. That's another thing. Bravo to you, because a lot of people think, oh, I want to get that's why I'm saying, don't necessarily focus on your shorts. I do shorts, so don't, like some people say, do shorts every day. But what's going to happen is your shorts can sometimes derail your organic growth, because people they're gonna, oh, that's so sweet, oh, thank you, they're gonna focus on, oh, I got the numbers. And trust me, Chris, there's a content creator who has helped me, and I try not to say names because it just gets too political. Anyway, this content creator, I probably shared this with you before, they had a short that got 1 million views. Their numbers went huge, but their views, so because of the short, and if you get 1 million views on a short, you're going to get a lot of subscribers. But these people are subbing to you based on that short, and they don't really follow your content. So what happened was that person, their numbers grew crazy, but they weren't getting the views. It's like they have the subs, but if you got like 70,000 subscribers, you should be at least you're supposed to get 10%, but which we know that doesn't happen every time you do an upload, but they weren't. So that's why I don't focus so much on the shorts as much. I try to do it more. The Lounger told me to do it, so I was, I listened to her. She told me to do, the shorts. So I do them sometimes, but I don't do them like every single day, because I don't want to grow. I don't want my numbers to be inflated, but I don't get the views that I need. So I would rather grow with the, let me see. I just saw a channel that has less than 5, so very low views, 5,000. Okay, I just saw a channel that has less than 5,000 subs, but they have that's it. That's the thing. Did you look at their shorts? Did they have a lot of oh, you said they didn't have a lot of subscribers. So I'm assuming they don't do a lot of shorts either. That's an assumption I'm making. because shorts don't really pay. Nope, not that's yeah. If you and there are some content creators, there are some there are some videos that explain why shorts are good, but a lot of people the subscribers, it's a vanity metric, and they explain that you really got to be growing your your not necessarily your subscriber base, but the people who are going to watch all of the videos you upload. You don't want 100,000 subscribers, but you only get 200 views, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, that's not that. Yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to be. But in due time, nope, I want 100K. Exactly. I mean, and you can get it. It's you just gotta stick with it and grind, 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 grind. If you find, so what's that guy, Murad Morali? I think I said his name right. He got big because he was doing one of those reality shows, Love Island or something. And that's how, because I was like researching the people who kind of really went viral and who did well. And so it sounds like a lot of people have done well starting off with reality shows. And I think, I think that's legit. But right now, like Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's saturated. I never got deep into that. I think I did a little bit, but I think reality shows or some TV shows or something, if you can get like a niche audience and build on that, because once you get to a certain level, your audience is gonna, once they like you, they're gonna watch whatever you put out there. But it's just finding it. It is, yeah, saturated. It's saturated right now. Love and Marriage Huntsville is saturated right now. I wish I could re-enter that. That that little niche there, but you said you're pre-recorded on a scripted show. Okay, which one is it? Which one are you doing? And that's all, and and people don't realize that if you have, because you're gonna get a dedicated audience. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna come over to your channel, check it out. Now that's the thing. If you have people that are, because it's like that's the whole thing. Like, say for example, if you find a celebrity that has millions of and you're able to get it in on that reporting on that person, that's like Nicki Minaj. She was really big there. I think we talked about this before, but because those people have a dedicated like audience. I forget what's Nicki people. I'm thinking the Beehive, the Barty gang, and I forget what Nicki's people are. But you know what I'm saying. You're always going to get those return because that's their thing. So like you said, Yellow Jackets, I think I've seen that on Netflix or something. Those people every week or every day or whatever, they're going to come back. But like what I do, and I think you do too, if you're talking about trending topics, like that's such a huge, every day it changes. It's not really, it's celebrity gossip, but who are you talking about? Now, there's some girls, I don't know if you watch Be With The T, she got that on lock. She pretty much focuses on Cardi B, kind of the young people, but look, she's kind of niched it down where she only focuses on a few people, and she does like one video a day, and she getting her numbers. Versus me, I'm all over the board because I like talking about trending topics, but that's not, it's like, okay, you're going to have to niche down a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm going to go check out your Yellow Jackets. And Yellow Jackets, isn't that more like, I've seen it. Like, I haven't seen the show. I think it's kind of scary. I think I talked about it. But isn't that kind of a white audience too? If you can do crossover, that's great too. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That if you got a show, a reality show, okay. Do you have? Is it a cross? Is it a diverse? Because I think you were doing. I remember. Were you doing the? Because I used to watch it. I haven't been watching it lately. Love After Lockout. Love After. You see, that's another thing. Diverse shows like Love After Lockout. I was dying to say I wanted to do that one, and I just never got into it the way I should have. That's a good one. I think you do that one, right? And then Yellow Jack. I don't know Yellow Jackets, but I've seen that. you know, it's a diverse group of people or audience, I'm assuming, because it's some white folks, right? So those are really good if you can break into it. Look at, okay, think about this. Murad Morale, he started off on Love Island. That man predominantly does urban trending topics on black folks. He got that because of his Love Island, right? He done, this man is Indian or Arab or whatever he is. He done got that on lock with Tisa Tales. And that started from a reality show. And that's because I feel like the diversity of the Love or Angel Island. And so he's been able to tap into that. And once he got that audience, whatever he does, they're locked in. So it's just finding that one. I don't know. Yellow Jackets, that could be the one to do it for you. You know, if you find one that is sticking and staying, stick and stay. Don't let up off of it, for real. Stick and stay with it. You know what I'm saying? Be the leader in that, you know? I wish I could get back into Love and Marriage Huntsville. I really do. Yeah, you guys, if you're growing in it and you're getting subs and you can see how many subscribers you're getting from that and your numbers are doing good, that's where you gotta kind of, your energy has to go to where your audience is going. Even though you do the other videos, right? You do the sprinkles here and there, but you gotta lock in and really become the SME for that particular show, you know. And that's what I'm trying to find something. And here's another thing, Chris. For me, I'm just speaking personally, I get bored. Even with the Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's why I didn't stick with it. It was like, it was getting too toxic. I'm like, I'm tired. And then people start, oh, you didn't do an episode. It's like, you don't tell me what to do. Hell, you're not my manager. But like, yes, that's the girl. So no, but you cannot. It's got to be like, I watch some of these videos and people be talking about the same thing over and over. I'm like, hell, I can't do that. I ain't gonna lie. I be like, my mind be like, girl, I can't. Child, please, I'm not doing that. But listen, that's how you grow. It doesn't matter. It's not what you like, it's what your audience likes, right? So you're supposed to cater to your audience, and that's something that I don't necessarily do. I'm just now starting to pay attention to my analytics. You got to pay attention to your analytics. It's not about any trending topics are great, but there's some people out there who are already on top of trending topics. And it ain't me and you. And I'm not saying that to be rude or nothing. I'm just being realistic. There are other areas in which we could probably get on top of it. And you said, but if we were making that type of money, we would talk about the same. Yeah. No, not because sometimes, things come across kind of funky on this platform because, you can't see expressions and tones and things like that. But what I'm saying is that, like, you have Yellow Jackets. I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. But if you can see that you're trending there and you're doing good there, all your other, that kind of has to be your pillar at the top. And then the other stuff kind of centers around it. And then, I don't know, but what about the Yellow Jackets, the things that are associated with the celebrities? So the thing with the Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reason my channel started growing back in the day was because I talked about the show, but I also would go into and find out about the you already know this, I'm sure, though, where you talk about the characters or the actors or whatever. Yellow Jacket, the people, or anything related to that is a topic, right? Because they have a fan base, and so you have to expand. It's not just about what happened in the show. It's like what happened to the actors associated with the show. That's how kind of you think outside, and that's how some people become the shmees for a particular subject, and they really, really grow fast. Because I don't know if you remember how Tisa did the whole thing with Tisa was not the top person when it came to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tisa took that what's her name, Portia, and she didn't just report on it. She went ahead and took it she did the reviews, but she went and delved deep into Portia's business with Simon and everything, and that's how she blew up, because she was doing stuff and reporting on things that nobody else was really doing a deep dive on, and she just kind of became a subject matter expert. And so, you know, even if you roast, that it doesn't matter, even if you roast or whatever, but you need to be that person for that particular show if you're already like trending and you're the top person in it. You know, you want to be the number one person that you want to be the number one that when that you chart for it. I'm not saying the word right, but you know what I'm saying, that when it comes up in the algorithm, you're at the top, you know. So girl, I have talked myself. This is almost 3. I never do two hour lives. This is crazy. But yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go check out your Yellow Jackets. It's a scary movie, right? I kept saying I was gonna watch it, so maybe I'll start watching it and then I'll watch your reviews and stuff. So I'm gonna pop off for here because it's just me and you now anyway, and I'm gonna go check out your Yellow Jackets. Are you gonna do a live on it tonight? Okay, yeah. See, I get scared, but I'm gonna see what it's about. I'm gonna go look at your live and I'll check it out. Are you gonna go live about it tonight? Is it a new one on tonight? I'm waiting for you to respond. So, no, I do Oh, okay, gotcha. They should be paying pretty good, right? Are you getting over 1,000 views on them? And I don't even think, I think you still get your percentage, even if it doesn't do 1,000 views. I think you still get like a percentage of it if it's a certain amount, I think. But okay, I'll go check out the pre-recorded then. I'll go check it out. But yeah, girl, stay on top of that Yellow Jackets. Don't let nobody get ahead of you on that. Be the lead. Well, to me, 300 or but yeah, that's good. 10%. That's excellent. That's very, very good. And to be honest, I haven't seen any other black people talk about Yellow Jackets. I haven't seen it. So I think that's great too. That's excellent. Girl, 1,000 views right now is kind of like the benchmark. I mean, if you can get that, that's a good metric. None of my videos have been hitting that as of late. It's been over 6 months now. So if you're doing that, that's great. Keep that up. Whatever because they tell you to go look at whatever video did that, whatever you did there, keep doing it, because that's what you're supposed to be doing it. Duplicate that over and over and over and over, and really get into those analytics. I'm trying to learn how to do the analytics, you know. So go watch some of those videos on how to really read your analytics, because what I think a lot of us do is we get on here, we make the videos, and it's like, okay, I think this is popular, I'll talk about this. But when the people who are strategic and are really doing well, they're starting to understand where the audience drops off in their videos, what is the peaks and all of that stuff. That's what we got to learn, because I don't think it's the game of, oh, just make a video and fingers crossed, although that can happen. But the strategy is probably to be more versed in the analytics if possible, you know? So, you know, I done talked to you till almost 2.5. Okay, so I was going to try to go live again today just to get the practice up, but I'm not. So I'm going to go check out your video, your Yellow Jackets. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so sometimes it's just, I don't like doing lives, but yeah, this is when it's a few people, although you need a lot of people in the live to make it be live, right? But I prefer like I want it to be bigger, of course, for the clicks and the views and all that stuff, but yeah, this is not my thing, girl. This is not my thing, baby. But I'm trying. But okay, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to be in your, go check your stuff out right now. So I'm about to go do that and get some food and call it a day. And I'll see you on the next one. You too. Okay, bye.